absolutely fascinating, and frankly, reports of the JDS's contraction and death were perhaps exaggerated by all of us.
The humble farmer is still around.
No, when you get 40% and more, how many of that converts into seats? Is there a...
You know,
but that's a gray area.
Yeah, sorry, Harish.
On the same line, I'd use your cricketing language, bleed blue. If you really look at it, the Congress needs to be complimented for the fact that it's bleeding blue. And that's 114 seats. They're still ahead. They're still ahead. But the point is, at this point of time, how deep are we into the counting? That is going to be important. And the last point I'd like to make is this analytics, which is brilliant, says that 40% plus, the Congress is leading in 139. I mean, getting that kind of a pressure, which means if I'm to simplistically convert, 139 becomes 139. I know it isn't that simplistic. 27 becomes 27, which is less than 31.
Supriya Shrinet has to leave us, but before she leaves us, I'm going to still try one last time to get that smile out of her. Because Supriya Shrinet, look, let me be fair to you. You
like her analytics, Supriya?
Yeah, she loves the analytics. She's been in business channels.
She said, you didn't like my video, I don't like your analytics.
No, but Supriya, the fact is the Congress hasn't won a single big state since Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. You look like being well ahead of the BJP. That's very clear. Is that reason enough for you to feel confident going into 2024? Do you believe this is a platform that you have going into that? Or would you accept that Karnataka should be treated as a very distinct state, ma'am, and every state is very different to the other?
So before I go, I'm glad to see the mourning come down in the Indian Wave studios. Happy to see that. We will form the government with a full majority and we'll be comfortably placed to deliver on promises that we have promised to the people of Karnataka. I also want to say something which is not being talked about as much. Yes, Rahul Gandhi's strike rate is 71%, but Mr. Modi's strike rate is under 50%. He is the Prime Minister. The entire campaign was all about him. So this is as much Mr. Modi's loss as this is Karnataka BJP's loss. The 40% campaign or the pay CM, all of those issues set aside. This is as much Mr. Modi's loss as it is the Karnataka
but Supriya,
BJP.
are you happy because JDS seems to have held on to its vote? You're largely winning at the cost of the BJP. That must give you a fair amount of joy.
And that's exactly what I'm coming to. That I think all these efforts to divert the attention, all these efforts to divide, the kind of campaign that Mr. Modi was doing, he couldn't find a narrative. It was all about me, I, myself, and the fact that he was bringing in Rajiv Gandhi into the campaign, terror issues.
But Supriya, campaign, no, I want to come in. Those two rallies at the fag end of the campaign in Bengaluru. Look at where Bengaluru stands. That's where the BJP is doing well. So you really can't blame the Prime Minister. You can blame the other engine, but not the main engine.
Just that we are winning an election that you will not even let me talk because I really have to leave now. I've been getting multiple calls from the other channels. I will say this. Do not congratulate us, but congratulate yourself for the analytics. You've got good analysis. You've got a great report. You've got great data. Congratulate the victor first and not yourselves, guys. Have a great day. I really have to go.
Okay. You know, what is true though? In a very long time, I haven't seen what's happening in Karnataka. I still say it's very cautious. Be cautious because look at the sub-regional split.
Okay, so we can do that.
I haven't seen splits like this in a long time, where from one region to the other, the election is so widely varied. It's hyper-localized. It's not localized, it's hyper-localized.
There's no statewide uniformity.
Elections going on.
That's right. 5 different elections going on in Karnataka. Absolutely right.
There's no statewide uniformity.
Absolutely.
We can try and explain why that's the case. Here's a sense of the overall vote share. In comparison with the last elections, the Congress's vote share stands at 43%. That's 5% up from the 38 they had last time. BJP is exactly where it was. The Congress's gains are coming at the expense of the Janata Dal Secular, which is down from 18 to 13. 5% loss, virtually directly getting transferred to the Congress. And if I show you the region-wise breakup, you will now see why this is a region-by-region election. In the 28 seats of Bengaluru, the BJP is leading on 16, the Congress on 11. The BJP leads in Bengaluru. The BJP also in the lead in coastal Karnataka, where there are 19 seats. The BJP leading on 14, the Congress leading on 4. Remember, in the regions, 2 out of the 6, you've got the BJP leading on. when I come to Hyderabad, Karnataka, in Hyderabad, Karnataka, the Congress is 24 leads, the BJP 10, the JDS 4. In central Karnataka, there are 23 seats here in central Karnataka, the Congress leading on 12 and the BJP on 9. In Old Mysuru, which is where the Congress's biggest wins are coming from. This is the area where the JDS did well in the last election and in elections in the past because the BJP's vote share has gone up. Remember what's happening here. The BJP's vote share has gone up in Old Mysuru, which is why the Congress is winning more seats. The Congress is gaining at the expense of the Janata Dal Secular. Here the Congress has 37 leads, 17 up from the last elections. The JDS at 26
Rahul, your
down.
mic's this thing, but you know, here is your mic needs to be looked at. I was just told by the producer. But here is the big news. So after having given Supriya Shrineth a hard time, just as she's left, guess what? As per the local channels, Congress now pulling away because they are now in some of the assessments at 1-1. And 1-1, Preeti knows why I'm getting excited once it crosses 120 because there's a sweepstakes on offer and typically I want someone else to buy my birthday cake and not me. But the truth of the matter is, this is what we've been all saying in the past, and we asked this to Dr. Qureshi, this bump factor, that the leader tends to get a disproportionate share. Sandeep Shastri will have to answer this one day in all his analysis of the last mile close fights. But for the first time, since an hour, the Congress may be in a slightly more comfortable position at 120. We are showing 116, but there is some hope for them that they could win some of these close contests. I still say many rounds to go. I would be very cautious before celebrating, but what is very clear is the Congress will have, and look every time JDS Rahul goes below 30, that's when the Congress starts going up. So the JDS, if it goes over 30, Congress in trouble. If the JDS falls below 30, I would say Congress set to form a government.
I would say Congress majority very likely.
Very likely, yeah, but I'm not going to call this election, Ashok. It would be too premature to call this election.
Rajdeep, two small points.
Yes.
I think this 117 or 120, 121, whatever, is depending heavily on two regions, Old Mysore and Kittur, Karnataka. If in these two regions the Congress is able to maintain the lead it is having now, I think these numbers will hold and maybe go a little beyond that.
So are we looking at the moment, and it's very, it's virtually real time, at the moment, a Congress between 120 and 130
No, we
possibly.
can gamify that.
Okay, let's gamify.
120 to 135,
please gamify it,
not more than that.
130 unlikely.
130 unlikely, 120 possible.
Unlikely.
20, 22, 23, that's where
Okay,
it will stop.
make it 1, 2, 3, guys. Make it 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Make it 1, 2, 3. I got a lot of money riding on 1, 2, 3.
We have a 1, 2, 3 party there.
Rajdeep, for the amount of panditry you did 15-20 minutes ago about where this was going, now some verbal gymnastics will be
No,
required.
I'll tell you why, Rahul. No, I think our viewers. I think our viewers need to realize that in an election like this, where you're seeing these sub-regional variations, one should be very cautious.
What you're saying
Cautious is the way forward. Because
Sir, 120 ho gaya.
I said this just 2 minutes ago. This is real-time TV. This is like an IPL match going on. Fascinating.
So what you're basically saying
10 minutes ago it was a
no, but
Yeah, 10 minutes ago it was a
but there's another way to just position what Rajdeep is saying. Treat it like an IPL match, right? The commentator's commenting on what he's seeing at that moment.
Yes.
For the post-match analysis, wait for the post-election analysis.
That's right.
At this moment, things change.
What is coming on your screen is being predicted by him 1 minute before that. You see?
Okay, so I just want to show you what could change from here. There are 500 seats, and this is interesting. This is where you're seeing the winner's bandwagon effect to the extent that you're seeing it live in action. 500 seats, 500 votes and less, 23 such seats. The Congress is leading on 15. So there are 15 seats which the Congress is leading on in that 120, where the margin at this moment is very slender. That could, in a worst case scenario, come down to 105. It doesn't happen like that, but just hypothetically. And the BJP is leading on 3, the JDS on 1. So where can this go to? This could possibly go up by 8. So 120 could become 128 if everything goes in the Congress's favor.
Right.
That also doesn't happen. But 120 can potentially go up to 128. Let's look at the seats where the margin is less than 1,000. There are 48 such seats. These seats again are in the play at this moment. Here too, things could change. Here too, the Congress leading with a bigger margin than the BJP. 25 such leads for the BJP. 25 such leads for the Congress, 14 such leads for the BJP. These seats too, Rajdeep, could change. So if you're pulling some of these 23 seats away, the Congress could then possibly still look at 125, 130 if some of these tight seats start shifting.
You see, the India Today Axis My India poll was what? 122 to 140. If it is 125, I think that's a fantastic poll to call, especially in a tough state like Karnataka.
Even this is fantastic.
This is pretty impressive as well. You see, I think we've got to recognize that Karnataka is five state elections in one. Coastal Karnataka increasingly clear advantage BJP. Hyderabad Karnataka increasingly clear advantage Congress. Central Karnataka tight fight with slight edge to Congress. Old Mysuru sweep to the Congress, and Bengaluru advantage to the BJP. But closing in, if, as most people believe, Bengaluru will turn towards the Congress, then I think 120 could become 125, and Supriya Shrinate will deserve from me a contrite apology, and she can smile and tell me I told you so. If it remains 115 to 120 and 5 seats go the other way, then Operation Lotus will take place, unfortunately,
but if we go by
5 months from now.
But if we go by our EI numbers, if it's 43% vote share with the Congress, if it holds on to it, then Mr. Shastri, you're looking at a seat share of anywhere over 122?
My own sense is, given the trend, it's between 122 and 125.
Because 43% is what it is right now. If it holds on to this, then it's anywhere over 120.
BJP about 70.
Congress.
Ramcha, what is happening is this 43-36 difference is there.
Yes.
What is happening is Congress is winning its seats with big margins, and therefore that vote share gets
I
into
can
that.
show that to you.
The BJP is winning with smaller margins.
If I show you the heat map analysis, the BJP at this moment has 106 seats where their vote share is above 106. 49 seats where their vote share is 30 to 40. So 106 seats are the number of seats where the BJP is very seriously in the fray. They're leading on 70, but if you're 40% plus in 106 seats, those are seats where the BJP, as the rounds of voting go on, still would think they have a chance. The Congress at this moment is leading, has 40% plus votes in 140. So for the best case scenario for the Congress, 140, because these are seats where your vote share is 40% plus. You need 40% plus to be able to win. From the Janata Dal Seculars perspective, the JDS is 40% plus only in 28 seats. So the JDS is tally, it's at 26 right now, but they can't really be much more than 28 because they're leading, they're 40% plus only in 28 seats. The Congress, though, could hope, because there are 140 seats live at this moment where their vote share is 40% plus. They would hope that they're able to get as close to that 140 number as possible. You can forget these seats. These seats where your vote share is 30 to 40 is very difficult to catch up, right? 140 are the seats where your vote share is 40 plus. And the BJP could think that because you have 106 seats where your vote share is 40% plus, your tally could possibly go up from 70. So that's essentially what we're looking at this moment.
I do believe, if you look at numbers, I would give credit to the analysis of the political parties themselves. Supriya Shrinate came out and made it public. Other parties are possibly making it public. Reason being, in an IPL match, things are actually happening there, and it's unfolding right there. At this point of time in an election, it's already happened. It's locked. The political parties know exactly what's happening on the ground.
Siddaramaiah.
ವರ್ಣದಲ್ಲೂ ಸೋಲ್ತಾರೆ, ಚಾಮರಾಜನಗರದಲ್ಲೂ ಸೋಲ್ತಾರೆ.
ಟೋಟಲಿ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ನಾಯಕರು ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರ ಅಲೆ ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಮೋದಿ ಅವರು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಸಾರಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ಕೂಡ, ಅಮಿತ್ ಶಾ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಸಾರಿ, ಅದು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಮತದಾರರ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಬೀರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಜನರು ಬೇಸತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ವಿರುದ್ಧ. ಅವರ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ, ಅವರ ದುರಾಡಳಿತ, ಅವರ ಜನವಿರೋಧಿ ನೀತಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡದೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಇವರಿಂದ ಜನ ಬೇಸತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಜನ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಹೊಸ ಅದು ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಜನ ತೀರ್ಪು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
Arpapati, you want to summarize that for our viewers?
No, he is saying that people of Karnataka are fed up with this government, and that's why they're looking for a change, and they're given this result.
Okay.
So he's making a matter of
described
fact.
it as a
matter of
corrupt
fact.
government, and the people wanted it to go. So that was the basic point he was trying to make.
Rahul, I want to make one point about
Yes, sir.
all the statistics that you're given. You know, it gives a very clear idea that when Congress is leading in 140 seats with 40% plus.
Not
you know,
leading.
It's got 40%. It may not be leading because the other party may have 50% plus. You
Okay,
have 40,
but-
the other is 50.
So that
But you're
means
in
that
the fight. The way to describe
in the
it is
fight.
you're in the fight.
So which-
and I just want to tell you and our viewers that 4 to 8 rounds have been counted across the state, right? So you've broadly
what
so
is the
far
total number?
counted between
12
4
or 16? How many? What is the total number of rounds?
We'll just find out.
Can I just ask one question?
Yes.
Since you gave that very interesting graphic about rallies, and we seem to skim over it. Amit Shah goes and has a 32% strike rate. Rahul Gandhi has 75% strike rate.
Rajdeep-
No, come on. 1 minute. I'm just throwing it up, right? National leaders go into state where there is no local connect. I'm not even saying Rahul Gandhi or, but the fact is he seems to have done well where the Bharat Jodo Yatra went through. Amit Shah goes in at the last, in the last stretch, doesn't seem to connect. We saw this in Bengal as well. Is it that Delhi leaders, more comfortable in Hindi, cannot relate
See, to be fair,
and cannot overcome local
To be
anti-incumbency?
fair, it also depends on where you send which leader. How
Okay.
strong you are in that particular seat. And this goes for all parties. So I don't think we can draw.
It goes for all.
No, but are we
parties.
saying
I don't
that?
think we can
Are
do
we
all
saying that? Are we saying that national leaders? We put them on TV. They're there all through. Even Mr. Modi's road shows. That at the end of the day, local anti-incumbency cannot be overcome by
One
these
second.
last-minute
The
push.
purpose of sending a national leader to a seat,
Yes.
often for a party, any party,
Yes.
is to galvanize your local voter. Not so much to get votes directly. People are not going to vote for Amit Shah, but he is going to galvanize local.
Okay. Just so that you have some.
Rajdeep, can I make a quick point on that?
Yes.
I was discussing this with Ashok ji. Parties may send leaders not necessarily in their strong seats. They could send leaders where they are weak and hoping that that leader will be able
No,
to
but
do
that's
well.
also very clear. One second.
So I think-
Look at the seats they picked. If you look at Home Minister Amit Shah or Prime Minister Modi, the amount of time they spent in Old Mysuru, and this is important because they know. We've got one poll, right? We've got maximum 3 polls if you include CSD, SNC voter. They have innumerable data sources telling them and past track record where their vote share was less than 20. They are plowing for the long run. They're trying to irrigate Old Mysuru, keeping a long-term perspective in mind because they spent a lot of time, Ramnagara, Mandya, a lot of those places in Old Mysuru, a lot of time was spent. Just so that you know what may change, what may not change, 4 to 8 rounds have been counted on an average and it changes from seat to seat. There are about 16 to 20 rounds in each of the seats.
But
So-
Rahul, before you go there, can I just very quickly come to our viewers? Well, you showed this very interesting
We're just
thing.
showing that. So, of the people who are winning, Yadurappa's son B.Y. Vijendra is leading.
Yes.
Basavaraj Bommai is leading. C.T. Ravi of the BJP is trailing at this moment. Shiv Kumar is leading. Karunakar Reddy, brother of Gali Janardhan Reddy, is trailing.
So the
Somashekara Reddy is trailing.
See, the big ones who are trailing, because the trailing often tell a story. Nikhil Kumaraswamy, son of Mr. Kumaraswamy, Ramnagara, Sholay set up, all those, but HD Kumaraswamy's seat gives it up for his son who lost Lok Sabha. He's losing. You can't take the voter for granted if these numbers hold.
Biggest one.
Jagdish Shettar. You see, look at the fascinating thing what's happening there. Around North Karnataka, Congress is beating the BJP. But the man who we thought in TV studios is a symbol of the Lingayat disaffection is actually trailing.
So, of the votes that have been counted,
Yes.
so far the BJP candidate has 22,000
He's winning by a
votes,
big margin.
And the Congress rebel candidate is 14,000.
And I was not surprised because we've got to realize often in North Karnataka, the vote goes in some parts of North Karnataka with the party, not the individual. But he's not a mass leader. But now take a look at this guy. Lakshman Saudi, also a deputy chief minister, is leading. And what is he
big
leading by? Look at the margin. 25,000 votes. And what has happened? Mr. Mahesh Kumatalli, I said this before, was a Congress candidate, Rahul, in 2018, defeated Mr. Saudi. Saudi was a winner in 2008-13. Now Kumatalli switches, defects, joins the BJP, is losing by 25,000. What's happening in and around Belgavi? Belgavi was a BJP bastion one time. Now you're seeing the Congress doing very well. Why? Because many of the defectors a lot of the defectors were from this Belgavi region who went with Ramesh Jarkioli. And they're all losing. It's a good sign.
I can show that to our viewers. Of the defectors in the
Ramesh Jarkioli is also losing.
5 out of 8 Congress defectors, meaning defectors from other parties who came into the Congress, 5 out of those 8 candidates are winning. Only 1 out of 13 JDS defectors are winning. So Congress has a reasonable ratio here.
Yes.
When it comes to Dinesh, Dinesh always tend to seem to have an advantage. 8 out of 11 Congress Dinesh are winning. Only 11 out of 33 BJP Dinesh are winning.
That's a big margin.
4 out of 6 JDS Dinesh are winning. When you look at the women candidates in the fray, 2 out of 11, unfortunate, 2 out of 11 Congress women candidates are leading. 3 out of 12 BJP women candidates are leading. 2 out of 13 JDS candidates are leading. Can I show you the kind of educational qualifications of the candidates who seem to be in the lead? Congress has 17 postgraduates who are leading, 60 graduates, and 38 of their candidates who are leading are less than class 12 pass. For the BJP, 8 postgraduates, 32 graduates, and 30 who are less than 12 class pass.
Okay, Shama Mohammed is with us. Shama Mohammed and Sanju Verma are with us. Appreciate both of you joining us.
Sanju's name.
Good to have more women, here when Karnataka is not giving us enough women candidates. Shama Mohammed, you can smile. I know Supriya Srined, I'm being attacked for targeting her. I wasn't. I was only giving what was happening at the time where the margins were low. Now you're at 119, and as I said, once you cross 120, you can actually, give up all those resort bookings. Do you see this as a major turning point for the Congress, or do you see this as a victory limited to Karnataka? I'm almost calling it now as a victory.
No, I see this as a major turning point, and I see this as people who want to vote for real issues, whether it's price rise, it's corruption, it's unemployment. They're fed up of this divide and rule policy, continues about it, and they don't get it. Like you also say, for me, the most important is, being a woman, 425 rupees was the gas when we were in power. And now it's not just double, it's more than double, 1,200. How can one take it? And Nirmala Sitharaman always says one thing, inflation was high during our time. Yes, inflation was high, but unemployment was low. So in a family...
Just stay with us for a moment. I want to go across to MB Patil. He's one of the top Lingayat faces of the Congress party. And I want to show you what's actually happening on the Lingayat-dominated seats. And MB Patil would be delighted to see this. Because in the Lingayat-dominated seats, the Congress is rather surprisingly actually doing well. The BJP is holding on to its Lingayat vote share. About 64% of the Lingayats said they voted for the BJP. Yet in the 69 Lingayat-dominated seats where the Lingayats were more than 20% of the population, the Congress is leading on 43 of those seats, up 21 from the last time. The BJP is down 23 from the last time at only 18. Yes, sir, kya ho raha hai? Patil Saab, that the Congress is leading on 43 Lingayat-dominated seats, and you come from the community yourself, yet 2/3 of the Lingayats still voted for the BJP. This is one of the big stories of this election.
Yeah, I've been continuously maintaining in front of everyone, in front of the media, that it is a homecoming for Lingayats. After Virendra Patil, what Lingayat community had drifted away because of the anti-propaganda, the first time now, the Lingayats have backed major this one to the Congress, and that you could see now in Mumbai, Karnataka, Hyderabad, Karnataka, elsewhere also, even Varna and all this of South.
MB Patil ji, is it just the cracking of the Lingayat vote, or did the Ahinda factor play a role and the women factor? Because what we are also seeing is that in some of the poorer parts of Karnataka, Congress is doing well. You're getting back some of your old coalition, Dalits, Muslims, even STs coming towards you. So are we seeing... And I want to say this for our viewers, no party has ever won in Karnataka without winning a majority of the SC/ST seats. At the moment, the Congress is leading in them. So is it more than just Lingayats, or do you believe the crack in the Lingayat was the key?
With one community, nobody can win the election. It's Lingayats, all these days were backing, a major chunk was backing BJP. Lingayats have shifted. But all the other communities, whether the scheduled castes, the backwards, the minorities, all other communities also have backed the Vakilgas. All other communities also have backed Congress this time. And the Lingayat factor has played a very important role in Mumbai, Karnataka, and all this. We can get this result because whenever Lingayats are supported, we have won more seats. We've taken the example of Virendra Patil and during his president, 1989, we got 176 seats.
The Congress hasn't had a Lingayat chief minister since Virendra Patil. You are one of the most prominent faces of the Congress, while Siddaramaiah and Shiv Kumar have been the leaders that you projected. If you really want the Lingayats to come back to the Congress fold, do you think you're in the fray as well?
Yeah, the Lingayats are already back with Congress now. We could see the result. And as regarding the chief minister, 89, since 89, we did not have any Lingayat Congress chief minister. But the chief minister thing will be decided by the legislature party opinion, by the High Command, Mallikarjun Kharge ji or AICC president. What we are now at, we should get a clear-cut majority of 125-30 seats so that we form the government. That is more important for us now.
Mr. Patil, you did get a Lingayat leader from the BJP, Mr. Shettar, and he's trailing.
Yeah, because Shettar's constituency is a hardcore BJP Jansangha, which was built by himself, Shettar. We also knew that it is going to be a very tough constituency, but
it was the same place where Sonia Gandhi, everyone, the only rally that she ever did in Karnataka was in Hubballi.
Let me answer your question. See, that seat was been built up by Jansangh, by Shettar family. His father was 5 times corporators, uncle was a MLA. So Shettar had been brought into that constituency, which is the RSS headquarters also there. We all knew it's going to be a very difficult election for Shettar. But the treatment meted out to Shettar and Saudi and Yediyurappa and by the BJP, the ignoring the guys over there, by the perception of what Shettar and all these things, it has, although he might have been trailing.
Sir, you are saying this again and again, but the data doesn't say that.
This one has helped us a lot. Yeah.
The BJP has almost entirely held on to its Lingayat vote bank. You're winning because you've been able to put together an umbrella coalition of the non-Lingayat communities. The Dalits, the tribals, the Muslims, the Kurbas, the non-Kurba OBCs. That's how you've been able to win, by building that formidable Ahinda coalition. It's not as if the Lingayat vote bank has split.
But this time it was also the Lingayats and the Wakilgas also. We also concentrate on the Lingayat this one, and Lingayats are pretty convinced that BJP is no more a party which is helping them. They know that BJP is trying to use them and dump them.
So who is the next chief minister? Straight question. Who's the next chief minister of Karnataka,
The legislature party meeting will decide.
No, come on, Mr. Patil. Who's your choice? Who's the choice?
No question. See, the party in Congress, we never have we declare a chief minister. The legislature.
Who's your choice?
Who's your choice?
Who's your choice?
No, the parties, the MLAs will decide. The MLAs will decide.
How are you celebrate? Sir, Congress hasn't, forget this, who's chief minister, it's not in your control. But the Congress hasn't had this big a victory in a long time. In a head-on-head fight with the BJP in a major state, the Congress hasn't won big. How are you partying tonight? What's the celebration going to look like?
This victory for Congress will send a very positive lesson for the 224 this one in the country. So it leads to a Congress-led coalition to more like the UPA in the center, definitely.
Okay, that's Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai. He's live at this time watching the results. Obviously not looking happy, and he has no reason to. He was quite upset with our network at different times during the campaign. But we did have the trend right. Our reporters, our editors, our anchors on the ground were picking up the right trend, which was that the Congress was leading, the BJP wasn't. And, Rajdeep, a lot of the problems his government has had to deal with are problems he inherited. These aren't problems of his making. He's been in power only for 21 months.
And he's a fascinating character. S.R. Bommai was a royist, came from the left socialist stream. And Karnataka has always had a strong tradition of left socialist politics. He came through the Janata Dal, joined the BJP. Look at the two main faces of this election on either side are both from the Janata Dal. One, Siddaramaiah, came from the Janata Parivar, and then you have Mr. Bommai from the Janata Parivar. You see, this state is what my friend Dr. Shastri in a very fine column of his said, floating MLAs. Yahan se jao, wahan jao. It's happening in Maharashtra. Karnataka and Maharashtra share a lot in common. We have poha and idli together in Belgavi at breakfast, and now it's our politics. It has shifted so much. Defectors are all over the place. But I want to just give you a number. you said Lingayats. And I have a sense, look at this. 19 to 12 among SC seats. 37 SC seats, Congress leading in 19 to 12. Last time the BJP did very well, especially among the left Dalits. And this is one of the stories of this election. The Dalit vote is switching. And take a look at this. And I'm sure here too you'll find a story. Look at this.
Yes.
12-2. And look at what happened. Mr. Bomai gave internal reservations, raised 15% to 17% for Dalits, gave special reservation for ST. Why do you do it last moment? Ye public hai na, ye sab janti hai. You do it at the last moment. You give Vokaligas reservation, Lingayats reservation, take away from Muslims. It doesn't work. You want to do all this, do it 1 year before. When you do it on the eve of the election round, it doesn't work. This is the story. Never before in the history of Karnataka has a party that has lost SC/ST won the election. You have to win the SC/ST. We talk about Lingayats, Vokaligas, they are dominant, they have the leaders, but the real story is here. This is the story
Sanju
now.
Verma is also with us. Sanju
And she
ji,
should answer that.
72 seats for the BJP at this moment. Even on the Lingayat dominated 69 seats, the Congress is leading on 49. Now that's very perplexing. You're holding on to your Lingayat vote share, trailing on Lingayat seats. They seem to have been able to build a strong umbrella non-Lingayat coalition against you.
And I can add to that, you're losing Dalit and ST seats. This
Okay,
is why
let me
Mr. Modi wins,
come
and
in
you're
now.
losing among women. Your woman vote is
Can
gone.
I please? Rajdeep, you know, you've asked a question. Now please have the
Yes,
gumption
ma'am.
to
Please
listen to what
respond.
I have to say. Thank you. And please don't heckle me. You know,
No, I won't.
first and foremost, let me start from where Rajdeep left. जी हाँ, ये public है, ये सब जानती है. I don't wish to sound arrogant or overconfident, but let's be very clear, Rajdeep, that the decision to hike the scheduled caste quota from 15 to 17% and that of scheduled tribes from 3 to 7%. This was done by way of an ordinance that was passed way back in October 2022. So while you might say that this was done, keeping an eye on elections and on the eve of elections, I have this to ask you. Why is it that despite ruling Karnataka for the longest time, the Congress was not able to do so? The Congress has been promising this for the last 20 or 30 odd years. So please don't, sit here and wax eloquent about the BJP playing electoral politics, because at least we decided to do what needed to be done for Dalits and Adivasis. That's my point number one. My point number two is BJP has held on to its vote share of 36.3% as we speak. Point number three, in 106 to 108 constituencies, the BJP is still a very, very strong contender. Point number four, and the most important point, in any seat in Karnataka, there are at least 16 to 18 to 20 to 22 rounds. And as I speak with you, there are 6 to 8 or at best 10 rounds that have been competed, which means that in many seats, only 25 to 30 or 40% at best is the amount of rounds that have taken place, and there's still a lot of room in terms of which way this election is headed.
Ma'am, Sanju Verma ji, all very fine points. You answer a simple question. 1,200 rupees gas cylinder prices. Everywhere I went to rural Karnataka, they said this is too much. During Siddharamaia's time, it was 450. No, 1 minute, ma'am, now. You must listen. That many believe was a critical factor.
You've made this point on umpteen occasions. I know what you're going to say. Let me preempt you for a change. I even heard the Congress panelists, and I have this to say. And I.
Wow.
November 2021. Again, excise on petrol and diesel was reduced by 6 rupees and 8 rupees respectively in May 2022. My question is, why is it that Ganganagar in Rajasthan has the highest petrol and diesel prices? The Gehlot government did not reduce VAT meaningfully at all, nor did the Chhattisgarh government. In fact, the highest petrol and diesel prices are in 6 to 7 non-BJP ruled states. So please don't peddle this
what is
false
happening
narrative.
here?
Okay. The fact is though that, every party has
I want to correct
by
that.
the end, even the BJP in its manifesto said, we'll give gas cylinder on 3 festivals. Sadly, those 3 festivals didn't include Eid, but that's another battle for another day. The truth of the matter is that for
Rajdeep,
1 year
I
last
was
year,
not
all you
allowed to
did was
complete
hijab,
my
azan,
statement. Can I
halal.
speak?
You did not focus on welfareism. Shama Mohammed, you want to take that point that it's all this election, local anti-incumbency really hurting BJP. Next one in Rajasthan, it could hurt you. So, you know,
Giving
before you
37 lakh
celebrate...
people the benefit of Ayushman Bharat is not welfareism.
Ma'am, just a
Giving
minute, you're on the
31 lakh Ujjwala gas
Can I
cylinders to
speak?
the women of Karnataka is not welfareism.
Let
Rajdeep, are you
let me
hallucinating?
speak.
Okay, I'm hallucinating.
But,
I'm asking you, Shama Mohammed.
Rajdeep, this lady has to stop speaking.
You know,
Can I
Shama
speak?
Mohammed, you are a hardcore bigot.
Okay, Rajdeep,
Shama
she talks
Mohammed,
about
you are a
excise
hardcore
duty.
bigot. I'm not here
Okay,
to
can
take
we
passion
reduce
from you.
Sanju Verma's voice?
She talks about...
The
she
fact
talks
is,
about,
Shama Mohammed, do you concede that
Yeah,
this
she
is
talks
Karnataka
about-
election? The next one could be Rajasthan. You could lose there. There also the petrol prices, Sanju Verma is right. Diesel, petrol are among the highest in the country. That will hit you. You've
Yeah.
also got to wake up and smell the coffee when the next state comes.
No, No, Rajdeep, 2 points in this, what I want to tell. She talked about excise duty. She should understand when we were leaving in 2014, it was 9 rupees, the excise duty. Now what has happened is from there, when they just took over, they went to 34 and 35, respectively, diesel and petrol and diesel. So
Just
that
tell
is
me
the
why
problem.
you
Then
did not
reduce
reduce.
5, then you reduce 4, doesn't matter. And let me finish. And then one more thing I want to ask Sanju Verma. I saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi campaigning ferociously. That's the word I'm going to use. Is Prime Minister Narendra Modi going to take responsibility for today's defeat, or is he a leader only capable of taking responsibility when victory is there? A true leader should take responsibility for victory as well as defeat. I want to know who is going to be responsible. Are they going to do local leaders? Because Gujarat, you can do whatever you want in Gujarat. You change your MLAs, change your CMs. That doesn't work in Karnataka or in the southern states. That is one thing very clear today. And I want to know if the Prime Minister of India is going to take responsibility, because we fought on the right issues, we fought on people's issues, and there the fight was about Muslims, Hindus, Bajrang Dal, PFI. This is what the Prime Minister was talking about.
You didn't answer my question. That's the problem with y'all. You didn't answer my question. Why don't you reduce petrol? Why don't you reduce VAT prices? Get the message, ma'am. The message is public hai, garibon ki suno, wo tumhari sunega. You don't bring down petrol, diesel prices in Rajasthan, you will pay a price.
I will give you the answer. The Rajasthan, in Rajasthan, those who have the Ujjwala scheme, the gas has been given at 500 rupees. So we are using it somewhere else. Every state has a way to use their revenue.
Okay,
so
the biggest question at this time is...
We are giving the gas at 500 rupees. So we are doing things there. That is the problem.
The biggest question at this time is what can change? Is this trend largely settled, or can things change, and if they can, to what extent? So I have some very interesting visualizations which help capture that for us. And I'll start from the BJP's perspective. From the BJP's perspective, there are 106 seats where the BJP has 40% plus votes. So they will think on these seats, they are still in the fray, 40+% vote, 106 seats. From the Congress's perspective, there are 145 seats where the Congress is 40% plus. So the Congress will think that 115 can go up because there are 145 seats where the Congress can potentially still be in the fray. From the JDS's perspective, there are only 25 seats where the JDS is 40% plus. So the JDS's tally is unlikely to go up much beyond 30. That looks quite clear. Other things could still potentially change. Let's now come to the margin calculator, which will give you a sense again of what can change. At this time, there are 15 seats where the gap between the winner and the runner-up is less than 500. 5 of those leads for the Congress, 6 for the BJP, 3 for the JDS, 1 for the others. Here again, things can change. At this second, there are 5 seats where the lead is less than 100 votes. 2 of those are for the BJP, 1 for the Congress, 1 for the JDS. When it comes to seats where the gap is less than 1,000 votes, there are 36 seats at this time, split equally. So it's interesting that the tight fights are now split equally. In a worst case scenario, if the Congress were to lose quite a few of these seats, they would then fall below a majority. And if the Congress were to start picking up from the JDS and the BJP more of the tight fights, then there are about 120. So remember, about 7-8 rounds have been counted. There are between 16 and 20 rounds, just as a ballpark. So this battle is far from over. This Karnataka Premier League match is still on. It's game on right now.
Rahul, every half an hour the numbers change. And the range is between 114 to 120. But there it slipped to 112. And that can always happen given the margin calculators. Yeah. You have
first images of DK Shiv Kumar on your screen right now. There, just in the corner, there is DK Shiv. In case you're wondering where is he, there is DK Shiv
and next to him is his brother. The one there in the middle is his brother, who's an MP, DK Suresh. And next to him is Naresh Arora, who's their sort of media brand manager.
I think that image is taken inside a gym.
Yeah, you see, all of this is okay to celebrate individual. Look, this is fine. You're celebrating, but when you go public, what you do is you create the impression among your followers that you won. Then when the numbers start closing in, you get anxious. So, all I was doing an hour ago, Rahul, you said, you were giving her a hard time. The only reason is because the way this election is. This is not a normal election. This is like Madhya Pradesh, which went constituency by constituency. There are still half a dozen rounds left.
Rajiv, I agree with you. It's a tighter election than we thought.
Of course.
But I think the Congress majority is maybe a narrow majority, but it's more or less
given.
Okay. I will call this election only after 3 p.m. You're gonna have to give me bise beli bhat. I am not happy with this idli and this thing.
No, this is not our office cafe is not MTR. You don't get the kind of crisp dosa that you get. Rajiv Pratap Rudy is joining us. I don't know if he's had any dosa idli since the morning. We've not got a good breakfast, but that's quite unfortunate. Captain Saab, welcome. From the BJP's perspective, from 104 or 116, depending on what you take as the starting point, now leading only on 77. The quantum of the Congress's victory is still being determined, but it's very clear the BJP has lost. Why, according to you?
Well, Rahul, I've been hearing you since morning and I've been hearing Rajdeep as well. So I will go by the side of Rajdeep.
So you're listening only to India Today. Good news.
Good choice. That's the right choice.
No, I've been flicking through the channels and I would still be conservative. I would wait for the final results to come. I have seen spins happening in elections even at the last minute. So having said that, I have been watching the results. It's been fluctuating. Thanks, Rajdeep. You have been talking something which I would have always said if I was there at your place or in my place as well now, that we should wait for the final outcome. Yes, if something goes wrong, it requires a deeper analysis because I think this election was very localized. It was nothing to connect to the national polity or politics or the mandate which we generally seek and try to connect. Whenever we have a state BJP government and we have a national government, we try to see they work together to see an outcome. But possibly this thing may have been lacking, but this is too early to assess. How good we have done, how bad we have done is possibly only if we see the final results, which would be there, I believe, in an hour or two. And I think if you ask me then possibly I would introspect to tell things which may be relevant, relevant for the Congress as well, and maybe relevant for all those who are doing it. But as of now, there's a lot of euphoria about certain things. But the euphoria is very, very regionalistic. It's about...
No, but Rajiv Pratap Rudy, there is a question about this double-engine Sarkara. You see, you plunge the Prime Minister into this hectic blitzkrieg, but you have weak chief ministers. There's a sense, except for Yogi Adityanath and to some extent Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and there's buzz that he could be replaced. The Congress, the BJP doesn't have strong chief ministers. You cannot overcome local anti-incumbency if one engine is not working. Do you agree that's a lesson to learn?
Well, at one point of time, you say, except Yogi Adityanath, and then you punch in, I do not know what reasons you have to punch in this sentence that Shivraj
no, weak chief ministers, sir. Except Yogi, you do not have strong chief ministers.
There are no weak chief ministers or there are no strong chief ministers. There are chief ministers. And chief minister of a state has to perform along with the party and the national perspective what we have. There could be a rhetoric which is built up against, and that is very localized. We have the Lingayas, the Vokalingas, the coastal region, the urban cities, and overall, and of course a campaign which matters. So we may have dipped in some part, but I would believe that BJP is still faring very well. And when you say, why do you put in Prime Minister? Tell me which election, whether it's Tripura, whether it's Assam, whether it is even smaller states where the Prime Minister doesn't go. And that is what he builds up as a national perspective. And that is what he does. He does not get deterred what is the situation. He comes to the people straight ahead, talks about the things which he's doing at the national level, talks about things which has to be done at the state level, talks about connecting India to the states. And that is how he works. He does not relent about anything.
I have over here the retain ratio for the BJP. Of the 104 seats you had last time, you're losing or trailing on 55 of those seats. Your retain ratio is only 47. 53% of the seats which you won in the last election, you are currently trailing on. This really demonstrates the extent of anti-incumbency. Of that double engine the BJP talks about, one of the engines in Karnataka wasn't firing.
Maybe you can analyze it further when the results are out, and maybe there are reasons why this has happened. So, but it would be too early for me to comment on that. And as you said, that more than 55 seats, I actually do not see so. But having said that, I believe that it could be a time once we have the final outcome to tell what actually where we went wrong. So I would refrain from commenting at this point of time, wait for another 3 hours to get back and answer all your questions straightforward.
How much does it impact or bother the sheer fact that the Congress could go with this triple L model, La Bharati, ladies, local, to the other 4 states that are going into elections in the coming year? Because 2 of them are what your vote banks are, La Bharati and women, ladies.
To defeat or browbeat PM's model, they have still a very long way to go. So I would not be commenting that this is the national manifesto and this is going to... It's completely different when it comes to the national level and when it comes to the Prime Minister. And we have to go down to the ground to see what the people talk about the Prime Minister, how positive the people at the ground level talk about him. So I would not like to mix up these things. Let's keep it to Karnataka elections as of now. Where we trailed and where we failed is one thing which we need to analyze, but actually I'm not admitting any defeat as of now.
Okay, so the other thing, Rajiv ji, look at these 69 seats that I've pulled out. These are seats which are Lingayat dominated, which means that the population, the percentage of Lingayat people in this seat is 20% plus. 69 such seats. On those seats, the Congress currently leading on 39, the BJP only on 23, down 18 seats from the last time. Now, this is northern Karnataka, largely Bombay Karnataka, Kittur Karnataka, which is your bastion. And there the Congress seems to have put together a rainbow coalition which is besting you in your bastion.
Maybe you have more figures with you, I do not. And I will wait for some more time to analyze all these, all 4 corners of Karnataka, right from the urban voters and all to the caste-dominated regions. But I would not be commenting on your analysis as of now. There is a picture which is emerging, which may not be, and I will still wait for 3 hours to find the final figures. But having said that, it's not that the BJP is erased or completely lost ground in Karnataka. There is something. These are minor corrections which should have been done, which could have been done, which may be done, and I don't think there's anything to give up. I must congratulate the voters in Karnataka for the Bharatiya Janata Party, of standing by, and then they have a national perspective, which actually matters in the long run.
The BJP is doing well, though, in Bengaluru, where of the 28 seats, the BJP is currently leading on 17, up 6 from the last time. The Congress at 10, down 5 from the last time. The JDS on 1. So in the urban pocket of Bengaluru, unlike the last elections, the BJP is doing well. The BJP is also doing well in coastal Karnataka, where exactly like the India Today poll predicted, the BJP is leading on 16, the Congress only on 2. Where the Congress is doing really well is in the biggest region of Karnataka, southern Karnataka, Old Mysuru, where on those 64 seats, the Congress is currently leading on 38, up a whopping 18 from the last time. The BJP at 5, down 11 from the last time. The Janata Dal Secular at 18, down 8 from the last time. In Mumbai, Karnataka, another region where the Congress is doing really well, 32, 15 up from the last time. This is the BJP's bastion. 17 here for the BJP, 13 down from the last time. In Hyderabad, Karnataka, 40 seats, 23 of those leads for the Congress, 12 for the BJP, again along the lines of the India Today poll. So they're basically different trends coming from different parts of the state. In central Karnataka, 13 leads for the Congress, 8 for the BJP. Bengaluru, Harish Bijur would hold some solace for the BJP. The PM campaign there, 17 leads currently out of 28. That's not bad in that urban pocket.
Yeah, I think Bengaluru is going to be that point of solace. Because first of all, Prime Minister Modi's yatra within Bengaluru, and then it swung votes for sure in the last moment. And the second important point is that there are 2 Bengalurus, which I have already made to say that, there's one Bengaluru which is New Bengaluru, and New Bengaluru is very BJP oriented, and Old Bengaluru possibly swings between the two parties one election after another. And this time round, I think they have swung towards the Congress.
I think just to add to what he's saying, Prime Minister made a big impact at Bangalore city. If only the voters had come out and voted, it could have made a big difference.
But the BJP is already winning 17, 18 of those seats.
No, but 54% voting, and imagine what it were to be 70%. There are 32 seats.
I think the one disappointment for the Congress at the moment is Bengaluru, because I think every poll suggested the Congress would win, particularly because there was anger against local infrastructure crumbling. There were no cooperators, but the BJP had one advantage. I think the BJP in urban pockets of Karnataka still remains a very solid outfit. If you go to the local areas, the Panna...
but not in Bangalore.
You see, in Bangalore, what happens, as you rightly said, a lot of the defectors who left joined the BJP, all of them won. And all of them are leading. So much, you see, this Bengaluru is a strange city. My friends are here. They grumble, they crib. But the fact is, at the end of the day, they either don't go and vote, and B, a lot of the poorer areas, cash plays a huge role. Don't underestimate the power of that 25 crore plus that I'm told in Bengaluru. This is the city which Nandan Nilekani was decimated by Anand Kumar. And in the last 5 elections, in general, the BJP, particularly Lok Sabha, has done very well. And across cities, Rahul, urban India is more attracted, I think, to Mr. Modi as the double engine, even despite 40% commission
Sarkar. But to be fair, Bangalore in assembly elections was a bit of a weak.
That's right. So therefore, it's a big gain for the BJP if these numbers hold.
Bangalore has always been swinging between the BJP and Congress. Last time, the Congress got a majority of the seats there, though of course many of them went to the BJP. This time the BJP has got the majority. The city has
you're saying every 5 years Bangalore shifts. You're saying every 5 years Bangalore shifts. Yes. So there's anti-incumbency against local candidates. For example, I'd like to see what's happened in Jayanagar. You had the daughter Soumya Reddy contesting. Now there was a lot of anger against Soumya Reddy saying, where was she during COVID? That's what I heard there. I don't know whether she's leading or trailing.
No, she was trailing and then leading.
Yeah, so I'm saying there's a lot of local anti-incumbency against sitting candidates. Bangalore had more Congress candidates last time, so naturally they faced the heat of that anti-incumbency. I think that is a trend across Karnataka. I say, if the BJP had changed even more of their sitting candidates, who knows? It'll be interesting, Rahul, your retention ratio.
But you don't know where they would have defected to.
Yeah, or whether, but the retention ratio will be interesting.
One of the questions in the minds of everyone watching at this time is, what can change? Is this settled or can things change? There are 147 seats across Karnataka at this time where the Congress's vote share is 40% plus. Counting is less than half done at this moment. So 147 seats where the Congress's vote share is 40% plus, things could in the ultimate analysis still change. What won't change is Congress number 1, BJP number 2, JDS number 3, but the quantum of victory could change. From the BJP's perspective, there are 106 seats where the BJP is 40% plus. So those are 106 seats where the BJP will think they're still in the fray. And remember, they're only leading on 75, which means on a lot of the close contests, the Congress is edging the BJP out. They're actually fighting well on 106 seats, but leading only on 75 at this moment. The Janata Dal Secular is 40% plus in only 26 seats. So they're leading on 25, but if you're 40% plus on only 26, the JDS is unlikely, we can say, from the data available at this time, to go beyond 30. That 117, to what extent can it change? Let me try and bring the data out for you. Of the seats where the margin is currently less than 500, there are 13 such seats split evenly between the Congress and the BJP. Congress leading on 4, the BJP on 5, the JDS on 3. So this could change in either direction. So if you add those 9 seats, if you add the 9 seats to the Congress's tally, the Congress goes up to 126. If you add the 8 seats to the BJP's tally, the BJP still only goes up to 83. So that doesn't help the BJP very much. If I look slightly further, the seats where the margin is less than 1,000, there are 32 such seats. The Congress leading on 11, the BJP on 13, the JDS on 6. So if you add some of these 21 seats where the opposition is winning and the Congress is not, then their tally at the most could possibly go up by 21. So that's the maximum range. It can't go up much more than 21. That's, in fact, it doesn't happen in such a way that all those seats come this way. So basically, that gives you a sense of what can change from where we are right now.
Absolutely. As I said, I think the Congress's best case scenario is 125. That, you know, you win a majority, a disproportionate number of these seats that you're showing us. Their worst case scenario, and that's the nightmare, is that they actually go down to 112.
No, it's not really. It can still be one. No, it can still be 130 odd. See, we don't know what's in the difference between a political party and EID. EID can only count what's been known so far. The party knows which area hasn't been counted, so they know what will happen there. Yeah. From this data, the Congress can still potentially go up to 130.
That's the very, okay, I'm sticking to 125, but we can go to 130. But look at, you know, the one thing, what I always admire is leaders who win irrespective of what else happens. DK Shivkumar, for example, is leading by 42,000 votes as we speak.
80,000 votes.
You know, no, 1 minute. At the moment, by 42,000 votes, he went to campaign there only on the last day. He, you know, and he was leading against a minister. The BJP thought they would lock him in, put up R. Ashok. It's not worked. Basavaraj Bommai has looked sort of, he's not looked happy today, but he's still leading by 15,000 votes in that constituency. The one constituency that I think people should look at is C.T. Ravi. You know, he was last year the most voluble member in terms of this Hindutva politics, and he is trailing Rahul at the moment. Priyank Kharge is at the moment leading, and now the lead has expanded to 15,000 votes, so you would expect him now to win. H.D. Revanna, on the other hand, is leading again substantially by 7,000 votes. So, you know, the JDS strongmen are leading at the moment. Siddaramaiah himself in Varuna is now leading by 27,000 votes.
Nikhil Kumaraswamy is trailing, and one of the main reasons also he's trailing is because Vokaliga leader DK Sivakumar, who's very close, Kanakpura, Ramnagar, he's campaigned extensively in Ramnagar as well.
So we can show that. I can show the VIP.
This is, I understand this unusually large number of ministers are trailing.
This is the live VIP tracker. Nikhil Kumaraswamy, son of H.D. Kumaraswamy, trailing. Siddaramaiah leading. Priyank Kharge, Mallikarjun Kharge's son, leading. Jagdish Shettar. Now, this is going to be one of the big stories from the poll. Jagdish Shettar left the BJP, came to the Congress. It's also a message to BJP turncoats. You know, if you leave, there's no guarantee. You know, it happened to Kalyan Singh, it happened later to Uma Bharti. You leave the BJP, the party vote doesn't come with you. Oftentimes when you leave the Congress, because it's the Neta's own vote, he can take the vote with him. In the BJP's case, oftentimes it's not true. The Jagdish Shettar is at 25,298 votes, whereas the BJP candidate is at 52,101 votes. That's a big lead for the BJP vote. Lakshman Savadi, though, the other BJP turncoat on a Congress seat contesting from Athni, is actually leading. He's at about 40,000 votes. The BJP candidate Mahesh is at 15,218 votes. So that's a big lead there. Now, if I come back to this, Yedurappa's son B.Y. Vijendra is leading. Basavaraj Bommai is leading. That should give him some relief. C.T. Ravi is trailing. Sorry?
Vijendra's numbers?
Who's Vijendra's numbers, okay? Vijendra's numbers. This is Yedurappa's son contesting on his father's pocket borough of Shikaripura. 23,926 versus Goni Malatesh of the Congress at 2005.
And Nikhil
Kumaraswamy of the Janata Dal Sekula. He lost a Lok Sabha seat. Here, though, again, he is losing. On the Ramanagaram seat, 38,982,
you know, what's
he's
interesting,
trailing.
Rahul, on the Ramanagra seat is that in terms of
what is the difference? What is the difference?
It's
Can I just go? Yeah, go on. First, let Preeti complete. Yeah.
It's 51% for Vokaligas, 49% Muslims. And the Congress campaigned heavily in Ramanagra, so they've got the Muslim vote and they've got a bit of the Vokaliga vote because DK Sivakumar has been there campaigning.
I want to go across to Amit Malviya. He's the IT czar of the Bharatiya Janata Party, runs the massive social media outreach of the BJP. More often than not, he's come on our network on counting day on the back of a big BJP victory. Today doesn't happen to be one of those days, Mr. Malviya. The BJP leading only on 75 seats, down about 30 seats from the last elections. This seems to have been a day when the voters didn't back your party.
Rahul, I can barely hear you. But if I've got the question, you want to know why we are down 30 seats from our previous tally. Well, it does seem like that the people of Karnataka have voted for an alternate party this time, because for some reason we may not have come up to expectation. But while I say this, I want to caution and put a caveat here that the numbers that we see right now are trends, and you yourself are putting out data which seems to suggest that there are several seats where the lead is very slender and it could go either ways. Still a lot of counting is to happen, and Karnataka is notorious as far as conversion of leads to final wins or losses are concerned. I want to remind you, or viewers, that last time around the BJP was leading on 120 seats at 4 p.m. and we eventually settled at 104. And that was the time when the Congress and the JDS came together and formed the government till there was a realignment in the state and we came back to power. So very early to conclude that this election is settled.
With that caveat, Mr. Malviya, would you accept that at least in this election, with that caveat, would you accept that in this election, the Congress has done much better than the BJP? The fact is the Congress is going to be the party number one. Whether it's 110 or 125, 130, time will tell. But would you accept that they've done much better than you? And to that extent, you've not been able to arrest local anti-incumbency. You put in all the Mr. Shahs, the Modis, the Naddas. It hasn't worked.
Well, Rajdeep, I can imagine that you must be feeling elated at the fact that you're finally going to win an election, or perhaps look like being close to the winning mark. But we might be down, but we are not out. So just be very careful of how much excitement you exude on this program, because clearly elections and political parties do not fade away with one result. The BJP is as strong as it was. Our voter base, our support base in Karnataka hasn't withered away. We may not have won as many seats as perhaps the Congress might from what it looks like, but we are not out of the game at all. Karnataka is the BJP bastion and it will remain so.
No, but you're not out of the race, but I keep asking this double engine Sarkara concept. It didn't work in Himachal, it now appears not to have worked in Karnataka. Is it time for course correction? You cannot expect Prime Minister Modi, with all his popularity, to come in at the last moment and arrest anti-incumbency against weak chief ministers. Does the BJP recognize that a double engine needs both engines working, not one?
Look, I want to again reiterate this fact that Prime Minister Modi is the most popular leader, not just in the BJP, but in the entire country. And he represents the ethos, the values that the BJP brings to the table. In states, there is the chief minister, and there is bound to be anti-incumbency against any government. How we maneuver it, how we navigate it is for us to decide. But those who are looking at this Karnataka election should not forget that the BJP has taken the tough decision of effecting a generational change in Karnataka. We have consciously gone into this election knowing fully well that we want to build a party and a political setup in the state of Karnataka that will last us several decades. So if it means that we may end up second in this contest, but in the long run, it will really, really help the BJP, and that is what we are looking at. And let
Mr. Malviya, what should
also
concern,
add that unlike other caste-based or family parties, the BJP looks at longevity, and in that sense, the generational shift that we look at is very, very important.
You know, what should concern the BJP is that on the 69 Lingayat seats, largely in northern Karnataka, most of them in Mumbai, Karnataka, the Congress is leading on 41, up 19 from the last time. The BJP only on 22, down 19. So it's a straight conversion of BJP seats to the Congress. So while in Old Mysore, they've pulled from the Janata Dal Secular, largely post 2015. Why is this happening? Amit, can you hear us, Mr. Malviya? Okay, that connection seems to have severed just at the moment, but this is something to look at. The fact that on these seats which are dominated by the Lingayat community, the Congress is snatching those away from the BJP. These, remember, were seats that the BJP thought they would be able to win quite easily. I want to show you, if you're wondering what may change from now, let's take a look at the seats where the BJP's vote share is above 40%. There are 105 seats. So while they're leading only on 73, the BJP is in the fight in 105 seats, halfway through counting. The Congress, 40% plus 147 seats. So there are 147 seats where the Congress has a chance of being able to increase its tally. The tally currently stands at 119. The Janata Dal Secular is the biggest loser of this poll, leading on 25, 40% plus on 27. If I were to look at vote share of the key parties, the Congress's vote share stands currently at 43% of all the vote that's been counted, up 5% from the last time. The BJP is exactly where it was. Now, while it's picked up some vote share, then you can explain this in old Mysuru, they've lost a little bit. But net, they still stand where they were. It is the JDS which is down 4%, which is largely the vote share that the Congress seems to have snatched from the JDS.
I think that is the reason why Congress is doing well in these areas. And don't forget that JDS is still holding on because of old Mysuru. Otherwise, they would have been finished by now. So the very fact that they're still holding on in old Mysore area, they're able to be in the race. And in case there is a hung assembly, they have a chance. Otherwise, I mean, they would have been down to 15 seats. So the very fact that they're still around 25 seats, that shows that they still have vote bank that is probably working for them, but with the diminishing returns. And if Kumaraswamy's son is losing, I think that's a very bad sign for the family.
Okay, what is changing in the last 20 minutes is local channels now putting the Congress more or less above 125. So a lot of these close run seats seem to be veering towards the Congress. So that could be 125, 130, who knows where it ends. Yes.
Okay.
Well, we don't know yet.
Rahul, Rajdeep, I'd just like to make a point on Shettar and Hubli. If you see him losing, you see, I do believe it's a part of a plan. Because, if you look at it, vote portability, if I'm to use that phrase, does it go with leaders? Does it go with party? The BJP seems to have a plan, and the plan seems to be simply to say that votes must go with the party and not with the leader. Leaders can come and go, local leaders can come and go, but the party remains forever. And that's the important point.
Mr. Malviya, I was showing you what's happening in the Lingayat-dominated seats of northern Karnataka, where the Congress is currently leading on 41, up 19. The BJP is down 19 from the last time at 22. Now, this was your bastion. In a Lok Sabha election, this will still be your bastion. The Lingayat community has stood with you in this poll according to our post-poll study. Yet the Congress is up 19 in this area, which was the BJP's bastion. The BJP nowadays hardly ever loses in its own bastion. What's gone wrong here, you think?
Well, Rahul, we'll have to analyze what has probably gone wrong. But we remain confident that the social coalition that the BJP has in Karnataka remains intact. It may be an aberration for us to be trailing on some of these seats in what is otherwise a stronghold of the BJP. But we will go back to the drawing board and analyze what may not have worked for us. And clearly, it seems like there could be a lot of local issues at work, and we will address all of them. Look, we are not a party that brushes aside victory or defeat and move on. We look at our victories very closely, and we look at our defeats even more closely. So we are
Mr.
going
Malviya,
to do
would
that.
you reckon, you talk about things that haven't quite worked, would you reckon the last minute or the last 3 days in the dying hours of the campaign, raking up Bajrang Bali backfired? Karnataka, a very different political terrain?
Well, I would only urge you to relax. The BJP is committed to a certain ideology, and we are never going to compromise with it. Ram, Hanuman, Bajrang Bali, the Indic thought, the dharmic traditions are all owned by the BJP. We will never go down the path of appeasement like the Congress would, whether
exactly
it
what
costs
you're
us an
talking
election.
about, or
We don't have a problem with that. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. If you ask a question, you should listen to the answer as well.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
We are quite sure that we do not want a state, we do not want a country where appeasement is the norm. We are never going to accept the Congress talking about a ban on an organization like the Bajrang Dal, because they are not an organization that indulges in illegality or unlawful practices. So it will remain our commitment to the wider worldview that we've always held. I'm again saying...
What
Mr.
explains the C.T. Ravi trailing? Because he was the poster boy of what you talk about.
And let me add to that, Mr. Malviya. The fact is, you have every right to, hold your ideology, your ideological convictions. But last year, whether on social media, which you handle, or in the national media, what were the stories coming out from Karnataka? Halal, hijab, azan, Tippu, Savarkar Yatra. When it is clear, as the elections are showing, poorer parts of Karnataka were hurting post-COVID. Did you all get your strategy wrong? That instead of focusing on religious polarization, you should have focused possibly on bread and butter issues. Eventually, in your manifesto, you promised 3 gas cylinders, you promised milk free. The fact is, you got your election strategy wrong in 2022 itself. And social media of the BJP was only amplifying religiously polarizing issues.
The problem with you, Rajdeep, is that you want to see what you think should be the agenda in your propaganda. The fact of the matter is that halal, hijab are all issues of Karnataka, and they are as important. We cannot allow our daughters and our women to be lured away in love jihad. That is a fact. If you want to shut your eyes to it, you're free to do it.
No,
we are
I
not
haven't.
Going to
The
do
voters
it.
have.
We are going to
The
raise
voters have
issues,
shut you, not me.
Issues,
the
whether
voters
like
have told you, please focus on basics. The voters have told you to focus on basics.
The same voters have voted for the BJP every other election on the same issues. They expect the BJP to stand for something, and we will always stand for it. Whether we lose an election here or there does not matter. Get that clear in your head, Mr. Sardesai. You should stop your propaganda. We will look at the bread and butter issues. We are as aware and as conscious about them. We are as worried about
How is it that when people ask you questions, Mr. Malviya, it becomes propaganda?
As anybody else would be.
Mr. Malviya, asking questions is not propaganda. With due regard, sir, asking a simple question is not propaganda. I'm asking you a question based on the results. All our surveys are showing women and the poor have voted against you. Women and poor had other bread and butter issues. They weren't interested, it appears, in religious polarization. That's all I'm saying. That's not propaganda, that's fact.
Well, the truth of the matter is that there are 75-80 seats where the BJP is still leading, and that's a massive vote share. So are you saying that all those people who voted for the BJP did not have bread and butter issues, and 20 extra seats or maybe 5% voter that has gone in favor of the Congress had different issues? Come on. I mean, talk like a sensible journalist. Don't try and put your agenda in every discussion.
Okay,
the fact is, and I'm repeating again, there are ideological issues that we will never ever compromise with. As far as there are other issues are concerned, we will address that. And are you telling me that a Siddaramaiah or a DKS-led government will be any better in terms of corruption, or for that matter, in terms of ensuring bread and butter issues? Why haven't they done it in Rajasthan? Why haven't they done it in Chhattisgarh?
Okay. So while the BJP has bad news coming out of Karnataka, one second. I just want to show our viewers what's happening in Uttar Pradesh, where there's a big urban body election happening. So in Uttar Pradesh, I'll start with the Panchayat tally. 544 Nagar Panchayat president elections on currently in UP. The BJP leading on 139 of those, the Samajwadi Party on 72, the BSP on 35, others on 132, the Congress on 4. Let's look at the Palika tally. 199 municipal corporation chairperson results, the BJP leading on 85, the Samajwadi Party on 40, the BSP on 23, the Congress on 5, others on 46. Municipal elections, the mayor results, 16 out of 17 for the BJP, 1 for the BSP, 0 for the Congress and the SP. Is this something, Mr. Malviya, that the BJP would draw some solace from, that while you would have not done well in Karnataka at the end of the day, your tally currently for the first time since the morning falling below 70 at 69, the Congress racing up to 123, but in the municipal elections of Uttar Pradesh in the urban bodies, you seem to have done quite well?
That's exactly the point that I'm making, and show these results to Rajdeep, who's sitting in your studio and blind to reality. The fact is, every election has its own nuances. People vote on the basis of local issues at that time, and There is no overarching narrative or rejection of the BJP as Rajdeep would like to believe. I read this morning that he is turned 58. I think he should retire from politics or perhaps his journalism and go to politics full time, because that is all that he does as a journalist. Why people in Uttar Pradesh are not bothered about lively issues and they are voting for the BJP, whereas suddenly in Karnataka people have had realization as per Rajdeep Sardesai. I mean, what kind of analysis is this?
One minute. Mr. Malviya, you must not be economical with facts. You can be on social media economical with facts. I said very clearly, different states, Rahul knows it, and I've said it on the panel. I actually believe every state is distinctive. Just a minute, sir. Every state is distinctive in this country. One size doesn't fit all. You can make all the jibes on me. I will not respond. I respect you. You're in politics. I'm in journalism. You do not like journalists who ask you questions. I asked you a simple question. You made a... No,
are you saying that the people of Karnataka who voted for the BJP this time are any less intelligent than what you are, or for that matter?
No, I'm asking you, why did they vote against you? Sir, I am asking you a simple question. Our survey suggests the Congress will have a 7% lead over you. Why do they have a lead over you is the simple question. What is the answer to that? Why does the Congress have a 7% lead as of now over you in terms of vote share? That's all I'm asking. Is it so difficult for you to answer a question without making personal jibes?
Well, the problem with you is that you refuse to listen to what I have to say. You have an agenda and you want me to say what you think I should say. Well, I will not. And listen to me. The fact is that we are cognizant of the fact that we may be behind the Congress in this election, and there are definitely issues that we need to look into. One very obvious reason for that is that the people have a certain expectation of the BJP governments, and maybe the Karnataka government has fallen short of it. We will look at the aspects and we look at all those details. But for you to suggest that there were issues like hijab and halal and others that were responsible for it is your propaganda. And I will call you out for your propaganda every time. Do not insert your narrative in what could be the public discourse. There are several people in Karnataka who still voted for the BJP. Do not undermine their intelligence. And let me tell you, do not celebrate too much. This Karnataka election will not translate into anything in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, or for that matter, Chhattisgarh or 2024. You should focus on writing your third book on how the BJP wins 2024.
Good. At least you're promoting my book on air. I'm glad. Amit Malviya, why are you so angry? You know, the other day I wrote a blog which said the Congress is leading in Karnataka. No less than BL Santosh, and you attacked me. I'm amazed. Don't give me so much importance, sir. I'm a simple man. Smile. Why don't you smile? I can send some Mysore Pak for you.
We don't.
I've got some Mysore Pak.
You are of no use. You are a propagandist. You should retire. You are 58. You should go. I've been telling you, I tell you every election, but you refuse to. You should go and prostrate in front of Sonia Gandhi and ask her to give you a Rajya Sabha seat for the services that you do for the Congress.
You go lower and lower. The lower you go, the higher I will climb. I will smile every time you give these low jibes. You're from the party of Vajpayee and Advani. This is the party of Vajpayee and Advani. You don't reduce it to personal jibes. The great Mr. Vajpayee would lose elections and smile. You don't intimidate me. Don't intimidate me, sir. Please. But have a good day. Have a good day. I am going to send you Mysore Pak. I promise you.
Yeah, here it is.
Please, box though. Box. We are sending him Mysore Pak.
Rajdeep, send it.
Mysore Pak. We'll send you Mysore Pak.
Please.
And you please send me some UP ke laddu. Thank you.
Okay, we have some live images coming at this moment of DK Shiv Kumar. He's coming out, he's doing a bit of a victory sign. Let's show you images from DK Shiv Kumar's residence. He's out. He, remember, has an IV drip. He had fever apparently. He was exhausted because of the campaign. Got a paracetamol IV drip, I'm told, and is now on his balcony waving out to people. That is the man who has organized this campaign. Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, former Chief Minister now, soon to be former Chief Minister, speaking at this moment. Let's listen in.
Because they're all trends are there now. Once the results come, we will do the detailed analysis. And as a political party and as a national political party, we will not only analyze and we will see that what are the gaps and what are the deficiencies were there at different levels. We will look into that and improve upon it. And we will take this result in our stride and we will go ahead and reorganize the party and come back during Lok Sabha election.
Sir, is there any meeting of
Take a photograph.
Okay, that's Basavraj Bomai, DK Shivkumar on his balcony there in his constituency. Remember, he's up against a strong BJP candidate, R. Ashoka. He's leading with 50,488 votes. When we last counted, the BJP candidate only 8,530. Nagaraju of the JDS with 8,700. Interestingly, the JDS candidate ahead of R. Ashoka, which is interesting. This is Kanakpura. DK Shivkumar, will he be happy, Rajdeep, playing second fiddle? Because he told me, I am not Sachin Pilot. He is not going to sit back and let Siddaramaiah do a Gehlot to him.
What I've got to know, Rahul, is that the majority of the MLAs, I think, will be with Siddaramaiah for now. If you look at even the breakup from where the MLAs are coming, clearly, but having said that, of course, DK Shivkumar has every reason to celebrate. He's worked very hard, very resourceful, has really put his energies into this campaign. In an ideal world, I guess he'll be Deputy Chief Minister for now. Mr. Siddaramaiah, 75, 76?
Yes. He has had a long innings in Congress, more than Siddaramaiah, and he has won, he'll be winning this 8th election. Should he not get some rewards for that? I mean, he has been the loyalist of the Congress party. He has saved the party in so many situations. You know, whenever there was a crisis, whether it was in Rajasthan or wherever, he has had.
So do you see him actually pushing for chief ministership?
Absolutely, absolutely.
If he will ask for it now?
Yes, if he doesn't get it, if he doesn't get it now, when will he get it?
If you weigh the positives that the two leaders have, Siddaramaiah and Shivkumar, both
I think Siddaramaiah had his innings. He had a full innings of 5 years.
So you see Shivkumar's time?
Yes, it is.
Okay, what about you, sir?
If you look at the positives on both sides, there are several. But I think we must concede the point that Siddaramaiah has been chief minister once, which is not a negative but a positive in his favor. Secondly, the rainbow coalition which the Congress built up and which is the contribution for this 123, Siddaramaiah represents that coalition, and therefore it would be prudent for them to keep him.
Well, lastly, there are Old Mysore area.
Sir, but Siddaramaiah's popularity is 10 times that of Shivkumar.
Last point is, if you look at optics, for the Congress, it is better at this stage to make Siddaramaiah because there are less, there is less negative publicity against him. You bring in Shivkumar, all those cases which are there will come to the forefront.
That is the only danger.
He wants his pound of flesh. Let there be no doubt about it.
There is, as far as the two leaders are concerned, both have done a terrific piece of a job under Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, etc., etc. But the point is, DK Shivkumar is the master strategist. And at the end of the day, if he does not become chief minister now, when is the question? Because very strictly speaking, he is the Congress person. Whereas, Mr. Siddaramaiah has had his sway. He's done a 5-year tenure. And I think all the polls that we talk about popularity give the benefit of that 5-year situation.
I differ completely. On ground, if you talk about sway, there is only one leader, and that is Siddaramaiah.
Well,
that's it.
Very simply, it's Mr. Siddaramaiah because he has served as a chief minister for 5 long years and he's been known for that. But that doesn't mean everything.
No, but
it does mean
the
something.
majority of the MLAs on the Congress ticket back Siddaramaiah. You speak to anybody in the Congress, they'll tell you that. Question is, what can change? Now, 124. So Rajdeep's getting set to do the dance now.
No, 1, 2, 3. No, don't change. 1, 2, 3.
124.
We all have ulterior motives.
Please, Rahul Kanwal, can you bring it back to 1, 2, 3, please?
You don't want to go to 130?
1, 2, 3.
No, the question is, what can change? No, on a more serious note.
Rajdeep, 130 you don't want?
No, 1, 2, 3.
Preeti and Rajdeep are only worried about the office satta and who's winning. But that's not the point. The bigger point is, what can change? There are 27 seats. At this moment, where the margin between the winner and the runner-up, the leader and the runner-up, is less than 1,000 votes. Of those, the Congress is leading on 12 such seats. The BJP is leading on 8, which is down 6. The JDS on 5. So on these 27 seats, things can still change. If I show you the heat map, you will get a sense of how many seats the Congress and the BJP are in the race on. 40% plus votes. The Congress is placed at 40% plus votes on 147 seats. 147 seats where the Congress has a real chance of being in the fight. The BJP is in the fight in a serious way in 104 seats. The Janata Dal Secular is in the fight in a serious way only on 27. The decline of the JDS, one of the big stories, and what's also absolutely correct is that the India Today exact poll, and our pollster is in the house, we'll bring him into our studio in just a moment, but he is really the Shahenshah of polling, Rajdeep. You just, if you want to know what's happening, just tune into our post-poll coverage and you by and large have a sense of what happened and why.
Just as a break, DK Shivakumar has won by more than 1 lakh margin.
Wow.
1 lakh.
I see.
That's a big one.
Okay. On that business of leadership, you know, DK Shivakumar versus Siddaramaiah, I'm putting it this way. Karnataka has this unique habit of switching its government every 5 years, which means that 60 months only, Congress at this point of time. And the next time round, who knows, it's going to be the BJP possibly. If that happens, if DK Shivakumar does not become the Chief Minister of the state now, when is the question? So, a formula of sharing, maybe the first 2 years,
formula of sharing never works.
Never works.
We've seen
and
in
therefore,
Chhattisgarh it didn't work.
No, it didn't work in Karnataka.
The fellow who becomes Chief Minister never leaves. The fellow who becomes Chief Minister never leaves. Ajay Kumar of the Congress party is joining us. 147 seats where the Congress has 40% plus vote at this moment. There hasn't been such good news for the Congress in a long time. 125 leads now. The Congress is, Dr. Kumar, bleeding blue at Chinnaswamy.
Look, Rahul, I say that, and I've said it on all of the TV channels, I know it might sound a little offensive, but if the Manipur story or the Karulkar story was played out more, we would have crossed 160, 170, because it's also a narrative which is critically important. And it's not any aspersion on any individual journalist or something, but if the true story reaches the people, and I think in Karnataka we're able to do it. If Manipur story or the ISRO director who was an RSS guy, if the story was played out appropriately, and if it would have gone over 150. So my question again is, with all people who are interested in having a better polity, imagine a minister saying, we have a plan B. What is plan B? There can only be in democracy one. And we might say it is a very Chanakya Niti, breaking parties, miney. But I mean, it's high time we said that, listen, and it applies to us, it applies to everybody else. But I definitely believe that if the narrative across is candid, if the field is level playing, whether the electoral bonds, whether it's the stories the corruption being exposed, whether it's theirs or ours or any other parties, once there's a level playing field, you can actually beat them properly and nicely. So as much as we like to propagate that Modi is unbeatable, they're unbeatable because of electoral bonds, because of they're not being exposed as much as they should be. And in Karnataka, that message was, we were able to give it. So whether it is Karulkar of RSS and ISRO, selling secrets to the Pakistanis, whether it is Manipur, which is, it's in shambles, and the national, we have not covered it adequately. If that had reached the people, we would have crossed 160. So sorry to say that if Rajdeep is jumping, Rahul, I hope you're also as happy as for us as Rajdeep is.
No, I'm not. No, please. Now, you see, the problem with all of you is that my life doesn't change. All I'm being offered is Mysore Park. Whether you win, I want our poll to win. I want the poll to win. The problem in Karnataka, sir, and with due regards, the Congress also needs to recognize Karnataka is not India. You have got Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, where you will face anti-incumbency. Look at the mess you have in Rajasthan, Mr. Gehlot and Mr. Pilot. In Chhattisgarh, it appears that you have the advantage, but there is anti-incumbency also. So the fact is, every state election, Dr. Ajay Kumar, is different to the other. Does the Congress recognize that? Or will you take this to now start dictating terms also to national allies, to a Mamta, to a Nitish, to an Arvind Kejriwal?
Dr. Rajdeep, to extrapolate the Karnataka situation to a natural situation will not be appropriate. I totally agree with you. And to think that I think the Rajasthan or any other state, wherever we have, different people, trying, competent leaders trying to become whether it's the CM face or extra, whatever it is, you need to learn from Karnataka. Actually speaking, I was in the coastal belt of Karnataka this time, and I could see the whole game happening from outside. And all the senior leaders, whatever their likes or dislikes, everybody fought together. So if we fight together, Rajasthan needs to see take and see it, and it applies to us. But my question again is, the Prime Minister, the story is the Prime Minister and Mr. Amit Shah. Manipur burnt, Prime Minister didn't visit. Prime Minister and Mr. Amit Shah did, the Prime Minister did 25 kilometers road shows. The Prime Minister did 42 odd rallies. I'm just saying that if you have a level playing field, and it's for all people to understand this across. No, one sec, I'll complete, sir, then please. If you have a level playing field, they are easily beatable. And the press and the media and the stories we create on them have to understand there is nothing so great about these guys. The amount of corruption in Karnataka, the amount of farmer deaths in Karnataka, the amount of human development index which has gone to dogs, the amount of hate you're spreading in trying to poison the water. And from where I was, Mangalore, the best story was told by a poor man who was he said, sir, the Mangalore jasmine, the Maliga, is picked by the Christians.
But Dr. Kumar, you can extrapolate on what's happening in Karnataka to Rajasthan. Similar political legacy, never voting the incumbent. What you were hoping that a state like Karnataka will hold, you're hoping against in Rajasthan. You're hoping your government is going to be re-voted in Rajasthan. Are you going to take the same kind of campaign to Rajasthan, which is make it hyper-local, look at La Bharati schemes, look at wooing the women?
No, absolutely. And for all congressmen to realize, and all of us, any right-minded people to realize, we should, and Mr. Rajdeep said correctly, we are not in here to dictate to anybody, whether it's Ms. Mamtaji or anybody else in this country. We need to recognize where our strength is. We need to fight to the strength.
So,
we
Kumar,
need to keep
especially in a state like Rajasthan, where, sadly,
we need to understand
as you and I are talking, Dr. Kumar, you have, who was once your deputy CM, taking out a yatra against your own government. Sachin Pilot is on a yatra in Rajasthan while these numbers are filtering in. We're going to come right back. I just want to bring in Syed Aslam as well, spokesperson JDS. No. Just coming back, Dr. Kumar, coming back on that point. We also have Syed Aslam. He's been rather patient. Mr. Aslam, not very good news coming in from Ramanagara. Your third generation Gowda trailing to the Congress.
Well, Preeti, I understand, but these are not the final results. These are the initial rounds of counting which has happened. But I think we will definitely...
Again, Syed Aslam, because if you actually look at the numbers, he's trailing by a huge margin. 15,000 votes, that's huge.
I understand that, but I think it's a strong bastion of JDS, and I'm sure that we will take that seat. There's nothing to worry on that seat. But, for the entire Karnataka...
Syed Aslam, visuals coming in. We're just going to take our viewers through on what's going on. So that was the cavalcade of the Chief Minister Bombay, and it has been stopped by Congress workers. Let's quickly dip in.
That this is the visual, and this whole entire place was completely blocked by the Congress workers over here. Look at the Congress workers in here. On vehicle, on bike, and CM convoy was completely stopped for several minutes. Now the police officials are over here. They have cleared the road, and this CM convoy is moving ahead. With camera person Kiran Sakpal, this is Saurabh Aktania in Haveri for India Today.
All right, that's the Chief Minister's cavalcade stopped by Congress workers, and that's exactly what Rajdeep was asking you, Dr. Kumar. Why are you getting so overconfident in a way?
No. One sec. First question is, we're not... look, it applies to all of us. I think we should never be overconfident, and we should respect it. And I think we need to bring back decency and, bring politics back to central. A lot of BJP people, some of them ran, very neutral campaigns, which was the state leader, Mr. Bombay for that matter. Initially, he was only talking about hijab and all that stuff, but we need to bring the politics back to some amount of decency. The Prime Minister invoking, religion during his campaign. We have crossed all the constitutional. No, one second, Preeti, let me complete. We have crossed all the constitutional red lines, and no.
But your over-enthused cadre is doing exactly that right now in Karnataka to try and stop a Chief Minister's cavalcade.
Yeah, Preeti, one side. Okay. Isn't it strange that we can only remember, we talk about Rajasthan in a Karnataka election. I know what's happening in Rajasthan, and we need to fix it. There's no debate on that. But you need to give credit. And anyone who does this is wrong. So I'm saying it on it. Over-enthusiastic cadres should be counseled and asked not to do it. But the important part, Preeti, for all of you is, I was in so many TV debates on Manipur, it got cancelled. There has not been a single TV debate on Karulkar, who's an ISRO head, who's an RSS guy. If the true narrative of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the true corruption, 40% government, 8 crores cash found with the MLA, 40 lakhs with his son,
all right,
post being sold, none of these
because
stories
I would reckon, the reason I'm doing so is the day belongs to your Karyakartas in Karnataka. Visuals coming in of DK Shiv Kumar's house, celebrations right now breaking out right outside his residence.
And the interesting thing that's happening is that in the tight fights, the Congress is pulling away now. 127 leads for the Congress, up 47. The BJP now in that uncomfortable 60s range. They'd like to be at least close to 80, where, you still say, okay, we fought. And the interesting thing, if you look at the data, is when I look at vote share, the BJP has held on to its 36% vote share. The Congress is up 5%. The reason the Congress is up 5% is because the JDS's vote share from 18 has come to 13. The Congress gaining at the expense of the Janata Dal Secular. The BJP staying where it is. That's the story of the election. What can change from now? 127 against 68. Can things change, and to what extent? At this moment, there are 13 seats where the gap between the leading candidate and the runner-up is 500. Of those, the Congress is leading on 6, the BJP on 4, the JDS on 3. So there are 7 seats potentially which the Congress could still pick. If they pick, then they get close to 135. If I go one notch up and look at the seats where the margin at this moment is less than 1,000 votes, there are 27 such seats. The Congress leading on 15 of those, the BJP on 6, the JDS on 4, others on 2. From the Congress's perspective, there are 12 seats which at this moment are in the balance which they can hope to get away. If those 12 get added, it doesn't happen like that, but if it does, then the Congress can potentially go up to 140. 140 is the higher end of the margin that the Congress could get to, whereas from the BJP's perspective, if they pull away some of the 21 seats which the other non-BJP parties are leading on with a very slender margin, they still, don't hit 100. So basically, the die is cast, the trend is set. The India Today post-poll study done with Access My India is correct.
Absolutely, Rahul. And I wonder if you can go region-wise, because I think that will give us an idea now of how the map of Karnataka has changed.
In Bengaluru, and this is interesting because 16 versus 12 in Bengaluru. The Congress leading on 12, the BJP leading on 16. In coastal Karnataka, the BJP 14-3. There are 19 seats here. 14 leads for the BJP, 4 for the Congress. In Hyderabad, Karnataka, 26 for the Congress, 9 for the BJP. BJP down 5 seats from the last time. Congress up 5 seats from the last time. In Mumbai, Karnataka, the Congress is leading on 16, up 16 seats from the last time. This is one of the big stories. So there are 2 big stories in the results that we are seeing. One is Mumbai, Karnataka. Congress literally snatching these seats from the BJP. That we haven't seen often since 2014, whether a duel between the BJP and the Congress comes out triumphant. Here it's happening in Mumbai, Karnataka. 16 leads snatched away, 14 of them from the BJP. The other big story is Old Mysuru, but here in Old Mysuru, the Congress's gains are largely coming at the JDS's expense. The JDS is down 10 seats from the last time. Last time it was at 26, now only 16. The Congress is at 40, 20 plus from the last time. 11 of those leads coming from the BJP. BJP now at 5. This, Sandeep Shastri, is intriguing given the amount of effort the BJP made in Old Mysuru. They're actually doing worse than last time in terms of seats.
Now, there are 2 points, Rahul, on this. If you compare our exit poll and what is coming here, there is a similarity, except that 2 regions are reversing. We had projected the Congress would do better in the Bengaluru region. The reverse has happened. In Old Mysore region, we did not project the Congress to do so well. It's doing so well. So that's how it is balancing out in the exit poll.
No, but just
what
from the
has happened in the Old Mysore region?
How could the BJP have worked so much in Old Mysuru and end up actually 11 seats down from last time?
In Old Mysuru, I'm sure the vote share of the BJP has gone up. But what has happened is the JDS is collapsing in the Old Mysore region. And even though the BJP vote share has gone up, it's not sufficiently gone up to spite the Congress. The Congress has had an advantage.
But the seats are also down from last time. What you're saying is correct.
That's the point I'm making.
Politics, Rahul, is a mix of chemistry and arithmetic. To my mind, and we'll see the final vote share, which will give us a better idea, Old Mysuru is a lot about arithmetic. What happens here is when you have a 3-cornered race, when party number 3 starts coming up in vote share, party number 2 has taken also a hit.
What you're saying would be true if the BJP had held on to where they were in the last elections. In old Mysuru, the BJP at this moment is 11 down from their base figure.
It's become a two-way fight. What was a three-way fight has become a two-way fight.
So the BJP was hoping to make it a two-way fight between them and the Congress. Instead, it's a two-way fight between the BJP and the JDS.
What has happened
for number 2 and 3. For number 2 and 3. You see, I mean, we'll have to see vote share. You see, only when we get vote share will we be able to give an eye. But the general belief is Congress has hugely benefited from triangular. To my mind, the biggest surprise is Mumbai, Karnataka. You know, I can't recall when last, Dr. Shastri and Ramakrishna will correct me, when there's been such a big lead in Mumbai, Karnataka against the BJP. This, even in the worst of times, has been a strong BJP area. Now, the Lingayat vote, if our exit poll is right, substantial section held on to the BJP. But what's happened is a counter consolidation clearly. And what's also happened here with the likes of Lakshman Saudi winning by the kind of margins, the Congress's local challengers in Mumbai, Karnataka have done extremely well. So I think this election really shows strong anti-incumbency. What we said at the start, except for that midpoint when Congress was 113 and we were saying, look, the anti-incumbency may not be as sharp. By the end, what's happening, it's now anti-incumbency all over. Except Bengaluru.
If you see, 58% of the seats which the BJP had won last time, they are currently trailing on. So that's 6 out of 10 seats they'd won last time they're trailing on. The Congress has a much better retain ratio. Out of the 80 seats they won, 70% of the seats, 69, they're actually retaining. So the Congress is retaining most of its seats. 7 out of 10 they're retaining. The BJP is losing a lot of the seats, demonstrating the extent of anti-incumbency. Rahul Gandhi will soon be at the AICC.
Rahul, make a point. Yes. These 25 seats which the Congress is losing, a lot of those seats are the seats of those who moved from the Congress to the BJP, contested in the BJP ticket and are winning. So I think that 30% loss is actually a notional loss because in reality, they had all moved to the BJP even before this election was held.
That is not,
so once again,
across the board
is
because
currently at the residence of DK Shivakumar. Lots of celebrations taking place there. So let's try and capture some of the spirit and the action on the ground. Nabila, take it away.
Right outside DK Shivkumar's house, a moment ago, DK just waved at the crowd. And here you have a bunch of his supporters who have now held flags, placards, all in support of DK Shivkumar. A huge turnout, a lot of cheering for him.
नहीं अभी डीके शिवकुमार सर अभी पूरे कर्नाटक या पूरे इंडिया में मतलब उनका नाम ऐसा हो गया कि अभी हर कोई लीडर उनको चाहता है।
क्यों चाहता है?
हर कोई पार्टी वाला डीके शिवकुमार अपने पार्टी में लेना चाहता है अभी। उतना स्ट्रांग बन गया अभी वो लोग। एक्चुअली इसके बारे में ना ज्यादातर स्टेट प्रेसिडेंट अपने अंगड़ी है।
आप लोग कहाँ से आए हो?
हम लोग बेंगलुरु से, हम पक्का डीके शिवकुमार का हम कट्टर अभिमानी है। कर्नाटक में बीजेपी का नाटक कभी नहीं चलेगा। कर्नाटक का एक ही शेर डीके शिवकुमार।
आप you expecting this?
वो हमारा कर्नाटक का सन है वो, तो हम जिताया हम लोग नंदी ने इसका सभी हम इसका हमारा कर्नाटक का विरोध किया है वो लोग, तो हम लोग उनको जिताया।
Shivakumar has really upheld the Kannada pride, the Kannada culture, and that's what he's the son of Karnataka, and that's what here a bunch of supporters here are cheering for as we see a comfortable majority, at least for in early trends, that shows for the Congress.
हम बहुत खुश हुआ। मैं बेंगलुरु में हूँ। केपीसी अध्यक्ष का लीडरशिप में इतना बहुमत आया तो मैं सब उसका अभिमान फैन से कितना है वो सब खुश है।
बहुत खुश है आप। कहाँ से आए हो सब?
बेंगलोर वो सबको फैन है। डीके शिवकुमार फैन से।
ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಏನಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ತರ ವಿಕ್ಟರಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ?
DK Shivakumar leadership, organization capacity.
Organizing capacity.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. He is the Chanakya for you.
Yes.
Who is CM? CM yaru?
DK Shivakumar.
All right, huge cheer for DK Shivkumar as the Chief Minister. DK is seated right inside his house. He's due to come out. He's just waved at the crowds for now. Of course, an elated Congress party. India Today has been projecting it as part of our exit polls. We've been showing Congress at least somewhere between 120 to 140, and it appears early trends are showing Congress with a comfortable majority. A few more hours where the numbers will finally settle. India Today is tracking every development here with camera person Prashant. This is Nabila Jamal for India Today.
Gehlot, Sachin Pilot kind of situation. DK Shivkumar supporters really flexing their muscles very vocally. They're not saying leadership will decide.
Rahul, it's done.
What is
Somebody has sent me from close to Kharge. Siddharamaiah is the next chief minister.
Of course, but
it will be Siddharamaiah. He says, I'm seeing all of this. Yes, Mr. Shivkumar likely to be. I asked him, what will then Mr. Shivkumar, deputy chief minister, powerful portfolios, but they are claiming chief minister will be Siddharamaiah. Having said that, I think we should call the election finally. Finally, we can say it's been very nervous because Rahul's margin calculator.
Who was nervous? You were only nervous. Just relax. Take it easy.
No, with Supriya Srinath, I was a little, and I owe Supriya Srinath as a fellow journalist an apology. I was very harsh with her, but the fact is, we can call the election and say the Congress will form the next government in Bengaluru. We can say that now with complete confidence based on the wonderful analysis and the margin calculators. On its own, my other dear friend, brother H.D. Kumaraswamy, sorry sir, melon juice only today. There will be no, you can go back, recuperate in Singapore. But the fact is, the Janata Dal Secular will not be the joker in the pack. This is an election where you didn't need the joker. That's what it's turning out to be.
But
I can tell you, we have Shehzad. Please go ahead.
He's gone. I think Mohammad Nalapad is with us, Youth Congress president.
One minute.
Who would you, Nalapad, like to see as the next chief minister? Okay, that's Mallikarjun Kharge, Congress president. He comes from Karnataka. Let's listen to him.
ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು. ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಮೊದಲಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನಗಳು ಅಂತಿಮವಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಇರಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್. ನಾವು ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೇರಿಂಗ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಸೋನಿಯಾ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಲೀಡರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನಾವು ಕುಂತು ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಂತಿಮವಾದಂತ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೊಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಮುಂದೆ ಇದೆ ಮೊದಲಿಂದ ಅದೇ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Mallikarjun Kharge, chosen as the Congress president,
and he is saying,
elected Congress president, is telling us, according to Ramkrishna Upadhyay, that Sonia and Rahul Gandhi will decide who the next Congress chief minister is.
He said in the conclave that why should I become chief minister when I choose chief minister?
No, when I can pick chief minister. So this is going exactly opposite to that. It clearly shows the way the Congress operates. But the sense I get, Rahul, as you ask from what I gather, Mr. Siddharamaiah, once they crossed a certain number, the MLAs are with him. You see, this is a coalition which has been created. While Shivkumar, I think, deserves enormous credit. He may have to wait his turn. Possibly, I think if the Congress can for once be open and say, 2.5 years each, why can't you do that openly?
And it has to be in writing.
And it has to be in writing, not in words. Exactly.
Radip, one of the answers.
Who gives up power? But when you're 75, you could,
look at Chhattisgarh.
Okay, fair enough. Good point.
He can be magnanimous.
Mr. Kharge's answer just now could have been a good one if he had said the MLAs will decide. Because, at the end of the day, I mean, that's a good piece of communication to go out. Particularly with a win, which is as good as this.
What the Congress culture is. I mean, we depend on the Gandhi family. Ultimately, whatever the MLAs might decide.
If these numbers hold, and if as we had initially said, JDS has collapsed, in a sense, then the Vocalica vote long term is up for grabs. And if the Congress sidelines a Vocalica leader for 5 years, Shiv Kumar.
Very good point.
Then the BJP will make a big
Because
pitch
I
for
think,
it.
I think that's the one thing, Rahul,
Absolutely.
you're right. When you look at those numbers in old Mysore, you could not have won it, Dr. Shastri will correct me, without the Congress getting a substantial
Where
Vocaliga
Shiv Kumar's
vote.
role is important.
Yeah, so therefore Shiv Kumar's role becomes important. But
And he's campaigned
and you know,
heavily
it's very
in
interesting
that
we've seen
time.
in the past. Recall 1999. Mallikarjun Kharge was on the other side of it. Congress wins big. He's the CLP leader. Krishna is the Congress president. Krishna wins out, even though Kharge claimed that it was his turn and the MLAs were with him. So there can be those calculations. Remember, Shiv Kumar has the resources that you need to fight the kind of elections that you will need in the winter. You don't want to alienate him in any way. So I'm not ruling him out. All I'm saying is the favored choice, I'm told, of the Gandhi family will be Siddaramaiah. Why? Because Rahul Gandhi seems to believe that socialism, welfareism of the kind that Siddaramaiah epitomizes has been an important factor in this
Congress's
election.
vote share amongst the Vocaliga community is up 7% from the last elections. The Vocaligas have backed the Congress partly also because of the aggressive projection of DK Shiv Kumar. He will expect his pound of flesh. Otherwise, you have another Sachin Pilot in the making. They will have to find a respectable... I think the big mistake, Rajdeep, that Gehlot made is that he couldn't take Sachin Pilot along with him. Bhupesh Baghel in the same fashion couldn't take T.S. Singhvi along with him. And those are the challenges now Congress will face in Karnataka.
But that's important for Congress to announce that these two will share the
Yeah, you see, because I think that is a problem with Siddaramaiah also. Siddaramaiah's one big problem is the ability to learn to share power. He's going to have to do that. Shiv Kumar is younger, he's more resourceful. You're going to have to give him key ministries, you cannot control it. So I think Siddaramaiah is going to have to recognize this is not 2013. 2013, you could run roughshod over the others. This time you're going to have to work. But yes, Preeti.
But no, you know, the Congress can announce or the High Command can announce anything that they want. They did so, no? In Chhattisgarh. They practically laid it out in Rajasthan this time around. But no, the regional satraps were so strong that they took over. Do you see Mr. Siddaramaiah sitting back and saying, yes, I'm going to give DK Shiv Kumar 2.5 years? No.
No, but you know,
he'd want to go the whole hog.
Yeah, he'd want to go the whole hog, but you know, Mr. Baghel is much younger. Siddaramaiah is 75, 76. He doesn't.
Mr. Gehlot is older. Mr. Gehlot is older than Siddaramaiah.
Siddaramaiah doesn't always keep good health, but the fact is, we wish him well. The moment you get power, I'm sure he'll recover even faster. But you know, he's been a remarkable. I will give him this. This is an election. Why Mr. Siddaramaiah's name echoed wherever we went in Karnataka in a manner that Mr. Shiv Kumar's did not. Ultimately, you know, we say MLAs, High Command, it should be the people. Right. People told me in various places, Rahul, Siddha for Bengaluru, Modi for Delhi. And that's a warning for the Congress also. Before the Congress gets carried away, they should realize the same voter who told me he wants Siddaramaiah as Chief Minister, wants Modi as Prime Minister.
Rahul, can I make a point?
Yes.
I think in this Chief Minister sweepstakes in Karnataka, while the party has been talking, party workers have been talking about Siddaramaiah, let's also look at the social coalition. If they did well in Old Mysore, yes, Vocaliga vote was important, but I think the vote of the OBC, Dalit, Muslims was equally important. And because Siddaramaiah represents that Ahinda coalition, it may be difficult to sidetrack him. I think the honorable solution would be to get them both on board, one as Deputy Chief Minister with a promise that being younger, you will be taken care of in the days to come. That, I think, would be the strategy to follow.
I totally agree with you, Profs. Because if you really look at it, I think a CM, possibly Mr. Siddaramaiah, and a CM designate, in bracket, promised to designate. Because, you know, I think that is the only thing that's going to solve
Now, how do you do it? It never happens publicly. How do you do it? You're undermining the CM.
Well, private covenants arrived at privately.
No, but how do you implement it?
At the end of the
implementation?
You know, you can't do this in writing. You can't have these covenants. I think all you can do at the moment, the best case is Deputy Chief Minister.
Yeah.
I would say Shiv Kumar, to be fair,
Siddaramaiah.
Shiv Kumar is a little more canny than Sachin Pilot was.
That's Siddaramaiah.
He will wait his moment. He will wait his moment.
Little more canny? Boss is like 100 times more canny than Sachin Pilot. Sachin Pilot.
So I think Mr. Shiv Kumar is very clear. He will get power. PWD key portfolios will be Deputy CM, which is a big step up. And I think eventually, I think Mr. Upadhyay is right. At some stage in these 5 years, if the Congress is wise, they will effect a leadership change.
And keep him as KPCC president also.
That's right. So but whether the Congress has those abilities, as we've seen, we don't know.
But you know, but today, Rajdeep, it's going to be celebrations at the Congress headquarters. Rahul Gandhi is going to go there.
No, but look at that man on your screen right now. He's got his thumb up, showing the victory sign,
and he
and
says,
with
"I'm
good
the CM."
reason. No, absolutely. In poll after poll, the voters in Karnataka have signaled very clearly that they would like for Siddaramaiah to be the next chief minister. His popularity at least 10x that of his nearest Congress rival, more than twice that of his closest BJP rival. He is the man who's been able to stitch what used to be called the Ahind coalition together. He's got a lot of the backward Kuruba, non-Kuruba OBCs, Dalits, tribals, minorities on the Congress ticket, which is why, despite having the vast majority of the Lingayat vote share intact, the BJP stands at 66. This is masterful social engineering of a kind we haven't seen from the Congress in a very long time. This is what the BJP usually does, Ashok Malik, to its opponents in the other parts of the country. And now you've got the Congress doing it to the BJP in Karnataka.
You know, actually the BJP would want Mr. Siddaramaiah to remain for 5 years because that will allow it to make a serious pitch at the Vocaliga vote. Remember, Lingayats and Vocaligas voting together has happened earlier. For the Congress or for the Janata Party, it has happened earlier. It was an old social coalition. And the BJP would try and build that coalition moving ahead.
No, but I'm not sure.
Add to what Ashok is saying.
Just to build hypothetically on this argument, Lingayats and Vocaligas haven't largely voted together for many decades. Yeah, they used to back in the day. The Congress used to be the number one party with nobody else in the fray.
Congress or Janata Party, they used to vote together. If you have a situation where the Congress government is essentially a non-Vocaliga, non-Lingayat government, run by Mr. Siddaramaiah, that coalition will naturally form.
Do you think so, Sandeep Shastri? Can the Vocaligas and the Lingayats be on the same ticket as part of a social coalition, or do you think, given the current reality of Karnataka,
this was okay 2 decades ago? Today it seems to be, or next 5 years, it seems to be a little difficult to see both.
Because these are two entrenched communities, both claimants for power and influence. Can they be on the same side?
No, what is happening is one of the two dominant castes with the OBCs and the Dalits are what would be together.
You know, what Mr. Siddaramaiah needs to recognize, and he admits in private conversation, one of the mistakes he made last time is suddenly dramatically on the eve of elections announced that I'll give Lingayats religious status and ended up dividing the Lingayat community itself, angering a large section of them. Even this time, one of the mistakes he made was said he's a corrupt Lingayat chief minister to Bomai. And that angered a lot of Lingayats. He has to carry the Lingayats
Those are live
along.
images of DK Shivkumar outside his residence. He's come for the first time, now will speak. He had a bit of a fever the last couple of days. He was exhausted. He literally woke up from his sleep, came straight to our cameras on the 10th of May. Here he is, pumped up. The moment a Neta wins, there's more energy. No matter what fever you have, he has a drip on his hand. Paracetamol was going in. All that's forgotten. 129 leads at this moment. DK Shivkumar, his supporters want him to be chief minister. There is a meeting taking place. KC Venugopal, Mallikarjun Kharge, Randeep Surjewala, 3 people who championed the Congress's strategy, meeting at this moment to decide what happens next. Let's see if we can listen to DK Shivkumar. Akupati, if you can translate.
Stop talking, man. Everybody.
ಅಖಂಡ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಮಹಾಜನತೆಗೆ ಅವರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾದಗಳಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಸಾಷ್ಟಾಂಗ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇಟ್ಟು ನೀಚಳವಾದಂತ ಬಹುಮತವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗೇನು ಮಾತಾಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ.
I will not talk about leadership.
ಆವೇಶದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಕೈಲಿ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಾ ಅಂತ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೆ.
I have sent somebody to get the election certificate.
ರಾಮನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ.
Oh, there is some trouble brewing in Ramnagar where Nikhil is losing.
ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು ರಾಮನಗರ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆ ಜನ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Yeah.
ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. ಬಂದು ನನ್ನ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಕಚೇರಿ, ನನ್ನ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಕಚೇರಿ, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಕಚೇರಿಲಿ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದು ತಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
You seem emotional today. It's a big win for the Congress party. Whom do you credit, sir? Whom do you credit for this victory, sir?
I credit my party cadres and all my leaders. They have worked hard People have exposed faith in us, and the leaders have supported us. It is a collective leadership, and we have jointly worked. I have said in the beginning, joining together is the beginning. On the day I took the oath, thinking together is the progress, working together is the success. That is what I said on the day. I assured Srimati Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi that, and Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, that I will deliver Karnataka to their fold. I can't forget Srimati Sonia Gandhi coming to meet me in jail when all these BJP people put me under jail. So I rather choose to be in jail than having an office. That is the confidence what Gandhi family and the Congress party in the entire country restored on me. I thank all my leaders in the state, including Mr. Siddaramaiah, all the MLAs, all the party officers and the workers from the block to the booth level who took up the responsibility. It is not one effort, including my ACC office bearers, my general secretaries, in charge general secretaries, secretaries. They work like a block Congress office bearers, and all of them are responsible. I have a lot of things to tell. I will come later. I will meet you in my Bharat Jodo Bhavan, and I'll meet you and discuss with you.
Your supporters have come in large numbers. They are all saying what will you tell your supporters?
It is. I don't want to tell anything. There is only one support, Congress support.
So one thing
DK Shiv Kumar, they are getting emotional, breaking down live on television. The man who engineered this Congress campaign, organized it, funded it, DK Shiv Kumar there, Rajdeep, breaking down as he spoke to the media for the first time, getting emotional. He said, I'll shave off my beard only if the Congress wins. Now he'll probably come back clean shaven the next time.
You know, look at what he's gone through in the last few years. He's gone to jail. He's been targeted with income tax notices virtually every day. He embarked on a yatra himself soon after COVID in 2021, which in a way connected the Congress. Long before the Bharat Jodo Yatra, there was a yatra that DK Shiv Kumar undertook, raised the issue of irrigation, of water crisis that Karnataka was facing. You know, he is one of those old-style politicians ready for a joust. You know, he is a real resourceful politician, but a politician who says, business is my profession, politics is my passion. And you've got to give him credit for what he's done. He's a 7-time MLA. He's worked his, soon to be 8. His brother is the MP. And for all the allegations against him that have been made, he's always been ready to take them on. He's always been open to the media. And I can see why he's got emotional, because, you know, when you had 3 years of the kind of struggle, when he took over the Congress in 2021, the party was in bad shape.
After the bypolls, they got hammered.
After the bypolls, they got hammered, the government had fallen, and, you know, he was sort of lifting the Congress party is not easy. He's done that.
He was put in jail for 104 days.
He went to jail for 104 days. He hasn't forgotten that. He keeps saying he was offered deputy chief ministership to shift to the BJP. We don't know whether that's true or not. But either way, this is a politician who deserves his moment in the sun just as much as Siddaramaiah does. So, you know, it's been a joint operation, and the entire Congress leadership.
They make a good team. One is an organizer, the other the mass leader. If they stay together, that is, if they start fighting and squabbling, then you've got Rajasthan Angkor. If they don't, then they've actually fought together. Despite their differences in private, in public, they've put up a united face.
And I think the credit to Rahul Gandhi and Randeep Singh Surjewala is this, that they've made sure that they stayed together. Even during the Bharat Jodo Yatra, Rahul Gandhi had this scene which went viral of running with Shiv Kumar and Siddaramaiah. He made sure he did not make any preferences, and I think that's a sign of a good leader. So, you know, while we attack Rahul Gandhi at various times, I think on Karnataka, full marks to Rahul Gandhi for having empowered his local leadership. There's a model out there.
I now want to focus to the most important thing, which is when it comes to poll coverage, nobody gets it right in quite the way India Today does. And I want to walk across now as I welcome, because I think he's just run away. I saw him just a moment ago, but let me see if I can go find him. Pradeep Gupta had come, and he's still waiting, I think, for us to determine where we've reached. But 129 leads for the Congress, that's a very big and very decisive mandate. 129 leads for the Congress party, and 66 for the BJP. I'm still just scoping right behind our studio looking for Pradeep Gupta. He's there somewhere. But it's not going to be as difficult to find him as it will be for the Congress to determine who becomes the next Chief Minister. Pradeep Gupta is now here. Pradeep ji, aa rahe, chha gaye. Welcome, welcome. Congratulations. Rajdeep, join us. This is very good news.
Where is my Mysore Park?
This is the hero. Well done
Bring
once
the
again.
Mysore Park and I'm going to cross it right.
You
It's
got
1
some Mysore
o'clock.
Park as well.
You know, it's 1 o'clock. I haven't had breakfast also today, unfortunately.
We just fed you so many idlis and vadas. How can that be discounted?
Are ye box kaun kholega?
129 leads, 122 to 140 was the tally that you'd given. Many in the BJP thought you'd lost the plot. 130 now.
Center point.
131 was your center point.
Center point.
130. No matter who wins, and there's some KGF music playing, Kolar Goldfields comes from old Mysore. That's where the Congress is done well. Yash is
lovely.
here.
Yash
the
is
Yash
here.
of politics is here. The Yash of polling is here.
Mysore
he
Park.
gets the first Mysore Park.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
Well done.
So much stress. Sir, आप खाओ ना मैं आपको खिलाता हूँ. Let him eat first. He has to eat. He has to eat. Why are we eating the food? He's the one who took all the. If this had been the other way around, his head would have been on the guillotine. His head would have been in the guillotine. It's come also from Karnataka. Okay, I'll have a little.
Mr. Kaval is a fit man, unlike us. Okay. Come on.
No, but
Professor Shastri, the encyclopedia of
highly
Karnataka.
stressed. Right now, of course, there's
Ashok Malik.
Kind of music playing.
This time, let me
Preeti,
tell
come
you.
on.
Yeah. अरे वाह, ऊंचा करो इसको. Salam Rocky bhai. It should say. We should say Rajdeep Salam Gupta ji.
Salam Gupta
Instead of
ji.
Rocky bhai. Or are you okay with being called?
What is that walk that he does? There's a walk, right?
Acha, you did it with
yeah.
Yash. Yeah. Now you should go.
Dancing,
Pradeep
walk.
ji karke dikhao. Come on.
Walk.
Come on, Pradeep ji. Do that Gupta ji walk.
You
Come
got
on.
to do a walk, right?
Rocky bhai walk.
You got to do a Rocky
No,
walk.
no, 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 no.
You want to do a dance or not? Quick
No,
dance.
yeah, look at that. Come on. This is
No, dance, walk. We're not dancing, we're walking. We've got Mysore Park.
No. This
And
doesn't
the
work.
reason
One second. You didn't walk like Yash. Come on, walk like Yash, like the proper way.
Okay, we'll both.
Both can walk together. Both can walk together.
I'll show you, you can follow.
Tell me how.
Yash taught him.
You're hiding him.
Pradeep, yeah, you're not.
Come on,
No, you're not doing it
all
with
this
swagger.
Okay?
For the only
Now you got
pollster
it,
who
you
got
got it
it
now.
right, you have to do it with more
Right?
swagger.
Yeah.
You got to do it with swagger.
Less swagger.
कैसे वो
से नहीं
करते हैं ना?
चलेगा.
चल, ready?
अरे वाह, क्या?
That's the way. That's the way. Okay, come on. We've had a good time.
Then let me tell you this time.
Okay, go ahead.
Rahul, this time the pressure was tremendous and I would say highest.
Why was the
Highest ever.
No, because you messed up
ever.
Karnataka last time.
One is that, and secondly, you must have seen all the polling agencies, all the channels. They also do good job and they are getting the data in, and none of them, all of them has shown the hung assembly possibility. You tell me one agency or the channel who has not shown the hung assembly.
Which is why you are Rocky bhai. Which is why you are Rocky bhai.
I am trying to tell you is that when data comes in, and the kind of campaign going on by the political party, and to put this kind of number, and particularly the pressure is that how to start the tally 120 plus. This is something very difficult.
Did you have your heart in your mouth when you saw 110, 105, 111?
No, that time you people were
I was nervous.
Just guessing it will be hung assembly and possibility and JDS and Joker and all that kind of a thing. But that time only 4 to 5 rounds were completed, and I was very clear, particularly on account of vote share. It was since beginning from Election Commission, once the all 224 seats started machine counting, it was always 44 by 36.
Which is
8%. So
I want to show that on the screen.
That shows,
One second,
that
this is very important. His not just is this right,
beginning
broadly,
then it's settled to
directionally,
7%.
he also has it right in terms of vote share. 43 for the Congress,
Same we
36 for the BJP, 8% was the gap in Pradeep's poll.
No, 7%. I think
No,
Pradeep
8%
predicted
was the
7,
gap
right?
in
No,
Pradeep's
43-35 we predicted, 43-35.
So it's 43-36. Now the interesting thing is, that you've been able to capture the direction right. The two little things which aren't right, and I want to see where things stand at this moment as I get you to respond to that.
Poll percentage ditto matching.
It's fantastic.
Seat numbers ditto matching for all the parties.
It's just phenomenal.
All the parties are in our mid-range.
And you know, I want to tell viewers why it's so tough. Remember, this is a three-cornered state. There's a third player. When it's bipolar, you might be able to get it right. When it's tripolar, you don't know how much that
Triangular.
And regionally, it is
and you've got sub-regional, and you've got independents and strong candidates coming in also. So it was not an easy poll. To pull Karnataka off like that, it's a tough state to predict.
What changes did you make from the last time? Because a lot of people, especially when they were coming in, they said, okay, you got it wrong last time. I know that you've been working very hard on trying to perfect your Karnataka polling techniques. Explain to our viewers what changes you made.
Let me give you full and extraordinary credit to my Axis My India team on the ground and back in office doing analysis. And let me tell you this time, we have studied our last term, 2018 data more than this time data.
Okay. We will continue talking about this. Siddaramaiah is speaking at
now
this moment.
Now see 131.
I want to go across and show you. His son Yatindra flanks him, the doctor. Siddaramaiah speaking at this moment, live. This is the first time we are hearing him say anything since the morning. So we'll just sit for a moment, we'll come back. R.K. Upadhyay will translate for us, and then we'll continue talking about just how fantastic this poll was.
120.
The counting of the votes is not yet completed. The trend clearly shows that Congress party would get comfortable majority. I have been consistently telling during my campaign that Congress party would get around 130 seats. That was my assessment of the situation in the state. Almost it comes true. We may cross 130 also. It's a big victory to Congress party. The people of Karnataka wanted a change. In Karnataka, because they were fed up with BJP government. There was a strong anti-incumbency against the BJP government. The BJP did not come to power. Whether it is in 2008 or in 2018, There was no mandate by the people to BJP party. In 2008 also there was a fractured verdict. In 2018 also there was a fractured verdict. In 2008 also they came to power through Operation Kamala. In 2018 also Operation Kamala. They have spent lot of money in Operation Kamala. The BJP asked some of the MLAs who defected from Congress and JDS by giving them money, and all MLAs who are defected and involved in Operation Kamala, they were all sold. Many of them were taught a lesson in this election. The people of Karnataka are politically very matured people. They know which party would save the state, because there was a threat by the BJP to the secular fabric of the state. There was a hate politics. The people of Karnataka are not tolerating hate politics or communal politics. They tried to win this election by money power. They could not succeed with money power. And Rahul Gandhi ji, Priyanka Gandhi ji, Mallikarjun Kharge ji, they also campaigned Congress party aggressively. The Padayatra of Rahul ji also helped. It enthuses the workers, the cadre in the party. I think this election is a very crucial election. This result of this election will be a stepping stone for the coming Lok Sabha election. I hope that all non-BJP parties come together and see that BJP is defeated. I also hope that Rahul ji may become the Prime Minister of this country.
Sir, is this mandate against the Modi and Amit Shah who campaigned aggressively for 45 days?
Definitely, 100%. It is a mandate against the Narendra Modi. It is a mandate against the Amit Shah. It is a mandate against the Nadda. It is because Narendra Modi has come to Karnataka 20 times. He addressed 20 rallies. No Prime Minister in the past has campaigned like Narendra Modi. Hey, ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರು ನಿಲ್ಸ ಕೇಳಪ್ಪ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಹಚ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. ಇದೆ.
If that is the case, why did Congress not do well Bangalore and coastal area? Congress has not done well in these two
the last election, we won only one seat in Bangalore. This time we expected 3 to 4. But Ramanath Rai, Bantwal, we expected. And also Beltangadi, beauty colors getting the one more Nala Puttur, we expected. ಆಯ್ತಾ ಆಯ್ತು 4 ಗೆಲ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು ಉಡುಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಗೆಲ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು ಬೈದೂರು ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಬೈದೂರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗುವ Considerable number of Lingayats also voted Congress party. Considerable number of Okligas also voted Congress party, including Brahmins. See, Congress party is a party. This is the only secular party in the country which is taking the votes of all communities, all religions. It is the only party. See, as far as BJP is concerned, not a single Muslim was given a ticket out of 224. Not a Christian was given a ticket. Narendra Modi was telling, "Sabka saath, sabka vikas." How false? Hey, how much lie he made? See, Narendra Modi could not fulfill in his 9 years tenure the major promises which he has made to the people of the country. No, I was not apprehension. I had no apprehension that Operation Kamala will do it. But because BJP is known for it. With money power, they will go to any extent. But I was not under the apprehension of that BJP is going to make this Operation Kamala, because Congress party would win in this election and more than 130 seats. That is what I expected. So that is what happened also. It is going to be happened. In 130 means, see, JDS less than 25 seats. That is what I said, 20 to 25 seats. BJP 60 to 70, 65. That is what my calculation. I thank Mallikarjuna ji, Mallikarjun Kharge ji. I thank Rahul ji. I thank Priyanka Gandhi ji for their campaign, aggressive campaign in Karnataka. So far as the Karnataka Assembly election is concerned, Sonia Gandhi ji also. And all the general secretaries, particularly Venugopal, Surjewala, and other secretaries who are in charge of Karnataka, I thank all of them.
CLP meeting का कब प्लान किया? When is the CLP meeting?
ನಾಳೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Tomorrow we want to have a CLP meeting, but all MLAs may not come. Newly elected MLAs may not come tonight. Therefore, we'll think over it. Anyway, CLP meeting is called.
Will you still ban the Bajrang Dal as promised?
It won't make any effect. We are not reading the manifesto correctly. We are not reading the manifesto. What we said was the organization belonging to Muslims, belonging to Hindus like Bajrang Dal and PFI, if they do hate politics, such organizations should be banned. That's what we said.
Big question for you. The next big question. This is very important and emotional moment for you also. And you said that it's going to be your last election. So what's the next?
Both of you are asking that.
The next same
One at a time.
Same thing, sir. So this is an emotional moment for you. You said that this is going to be your last election. Next question in front of you is who is going to be the CEO in place, sir?
As far as SCM is concerned, hey, as far as the SCM is concerned, newly elected MLAs, they will give their opinion. On the basis of the opinion given by the newly elected MLAs, the High Command will take a decision. That is number one. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಮೊದಲು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕನ್ನಡ The High Command will take a decision on the opinion given by the newly elected MLAs.
Sir. Mumbai has said that instead of all the hard work PM and everyone came, but we cannot meet the majority. But we will reorganize the party and come in the Lok Sabha. How do you see it, sir?
See what he said before the counting. What he said before the counting. Huh? Tell me. Please show that.
Siddaramaiah, he led the Congress's campaign, far and away the most popular candidate. According to the post poll study in Karnataka, he says the MLAs will give their view and the High Command will decide. Pick this subtle nuance. He said the High Command will decide basis the view of the MLAs, obviously realizing that a majority of the MLAs who are being elected are wanting Siddaramaiah to be Chief Minister. India's numero uno pollster is with me in the studio, and now I want to call Rajdeep Sardesai, who in the middle of this Siddaramaiah press conference has magically managed to change his clothes.
Thank you. I've got full Kannadiga. I'm the Kannadiga, local Kannadiga. I went to a lovely restaurant called Brahmins in Bengaluru, where I had excellent, where they gave me a nice veshti, so I brought it here. And it's a lovely state. I owe it a lot. My son speaks fluent Kannada. I spent 8-9 years there. And look, I'm not doing this because Congress won or anyone, because Pradeep Gupta has won. And therefore, he's the man of the match. And I decided...
Rajdeep is also holding on to it for dear life.
My fear is kahin kuch veshti ka ho jaye, mera kya hoga? You know, but I hope...
Like holding on to it like really tight.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
No,
Don't do too much? Okay. But look, you know, it's wonderful. And that's the distinctive...
Do you feel Pradeep Gupta like Rocky Bhai at this moment?
No.
From the Kolar goldfields?
He says he won't dance, so I won't dance.
I think next time...
No, his team messaged me saying he's been practicing his dance.
No, not at all.
Your team only told me.
My team and myself were practicing only the number crunching, and number crunching. Nothing else this time, because this time it was so much of our prestige was on the stake.
No, and this is when nobody else called it like this. You know, 132 is where things stand right now. Not one other polling agency said the BJP would be in the 60s and the Congress could be above 130. And I must tell our viewers that even the senior most Congress leaders, including those most closely involved with Karnataka politics who I spoke to, were thinking that they're more likely to be around 115 or so, 113, 114.
Absolutely.
130 is beyond their imagination.
You know, Rahul, you remember I told you about a midnight call, someone saying, are you all sure about your numbers? I said, look, Pradeep is sure. And I think the big thing about Pradeep, and we'll see it in his post-poll eventually, as of Sandeep's, is the gap between men and women, or between women in the two parties. My sense is the Congress has scored 6 to 8%. His poll had 11%, possibly as high as 11%. That's huge. Once you've got that, I keep asking people, show me one poll where women have voted for the losing side.
All the producers in my ear are saying, why aren't Pradeep and Rajdeep dancing? Because see, now the problem will be, I'll tell you what the problem will be. You danced when AAP won, you danced when BJP won. They're saying, why isn't Rajdeep dancing with Pradeep?
Because Rajdeep is worried that his lungi dance could turn to be rather embarrassing. You know, think about what could happen.
I am also very worried about it.
I was suggesting, Rajdeep, that you can have a belt or a nada.
Oh, hey, mere paas.
To hold down to your lungi.
Look, this is a wonderful part of the world, and I am delighted to. It is in summer the best dress to wear. You feel really good, and I'm glad to be there in all white.
Full of air.
Full of air. Full of air. So, Pradeep, we'll do one.
Okay, come on.
We'll do the
Come on, Pradeep ji. Itna bada jeet gaya
I
aap
don't
log.
know how to do that.
Come on. Rocky Bhai walk. Come on, Pradeep, you can do a Rocky Bhai. Come on.
Let's see.
Arey,
Let's
aise
see you
thodi hota hai.
move. Let's see you move. IPL style.
See, I'll tell you, Pradeep, I'll tell you the difference. See, Rajdeep learned from Yash. Yash had come to the conclave. Rajdeep, that's where you learned your Rocky Bhai move from.
Yash,
he got you standing next to him and doing the move.
Boss, I don't get paid extra for doing the dance. Yash gets paid huge amounts. I get paid the same amount, whatever happens, right? So, I mean, look, don't compare me to Yash. He's a superstar.
But Pradeep is a superstar as well.
He's a psychological superstar. You and I are apna karte hai. If we lose, we get blamed.
No, we get blamed whether we win or lose.
You know, either way. So, I mean,
somebody will be unhappy.
How? You want to tell us?
Last year or 2 years back, when Siddaramaiah was speaking in the assembly, suddenly Shiv Kumar came behind and whispered something into his ear. And what he whispered is his panche is gone. And both of them together helped Siddaramaiah put on his panche
for real,
again.
or you're just
This
making
actually
it?
happened.
This happened for real, or you're making it up?
And in the on the mic, Siddaramaiah said, I put on a little bit of weight, and then, he was tying it.
Panche ke piche kya hai? They're not even going to talk about. They're not even going down that road.
If Congress is struggling to find the chief minister, the next chief minister, I think Rajdeep is ready, dressed up in a Karnataka, the common choice for the
minister to banai do.
देखो ऐसा है.
Is that why since morning
Chief Minister is hotly contested.
Look, Delhi, compared to Delhi, Bengaluru has beautiful weather, lovely people. You walk down Cubbon Park in the morning, it's a beautiful part of the world. So if someone wants to invite me to Bengaluru, I'm happy to come and have a good weekend there. But I think we've done enough with this. I think we should go back to
our job.
No,
let's go back.
I want to show you the magic of the India Today post-poll study with Access My India, and let's go region by region. In coastal Karnataka, you would recall, Pradeep Gupta had said that the BJP would dominate. That's exactly what's happened. Twice the number of seats the Congress has got, 12 place 6 in coastal
13
Karnataka.
seats we've given.
In Hyderabad, Karnataka, Pradeep Gupta had said the Congress would dominate in a big way. Initially, it seemed that may not be happening in Hyderabad, Karnataka, but that's exactly the way it ended up. 26 versus 10. A big win for the Congress in Hyderabad, Karnataka. The biggest story, which everyone was surprised about, all the BJP leaders I spoke to said, Bombay, Karnataka mein aisa boss ho hi nahi sakta. I don't know what you guys are smoking. It is impossible. But that is exactly what happened. 33 leads, up 16. The BJP down 14 from the last time. How did the Congress manage to sweep? Because see, in old Mysuru, they're largely up against the JDS. Here, it's Congress versus BJP and Congress is winning.
Though this region, Bombay, Karnataka, is dominated by Lingayats.
And they've held on to the Lingayat vote share, the BJP.
But people tend to forget that when we said dominate, which is the number one cost equation in that particular region, number one meaning here 18% Lingayats are there. And about Marathas and general, the Brahmins, about 7%. So 25% in all. Until and unless you secure the vote of SCs and STs, nothing is going to work for any party.
So the magic of the post-poll study, Rajdeep, that we did is captured in the Lingayat-dominated seats, the 69 Lingayat-dominated seats, where the Congress has picked up 47 seats. You know, to pick this up is counterintuitive. To pick this up is almost magical because nobody else is thinking that something like this is possible.
You know, and actually what, as Pradeep's post-poll says, it's not as if the Lingayats left the BJP. There was a counter-consolidation on the, you know, and that you'll see when you come to the SC-ST seats. And the real story of Karnataka, to my mind, is SC-ST on one side, and to my mind also the women, men, you know, gender. I cannot emphasize enough. Every election, Rahul, which are the elections where the BJP's faced a struggle and lost? Mamata Banerjee defeated them. She had more women vote. Nitish Kumar, against all the odds in the backdrop of COVID, won that 20 November election. Women voted in larger numbers for him. Show me an election where women, why did Yogi Adityanath win? Women voted in much larger numbers. Women are cutting across all your Lingayat, Vokaliga, Dalit, tribal, because they feel strongest.
Can I give a national context to what we've seen happen? And I don't want to refer only to one state.
We'll get that post.
But the strategy that we've seen, Pradeep, is essentially what the BJP has done in states like Haryana, in states like Uttar Pradesh, where the non-dominant communities are brought together. For example, in Haryana, despite the Jats not overwhelmingly voting for the BJP, they were able to get the non-Jats together. Here, despite the Lingayats not voting for the Congress, they were able to get the non-Lingayats together, form a rainbow coalition. So the Congress has done to the BJP what the BJP typically does to the Congress in most other states and to opposition parties like
before Pradeep, 1 minute, because Supriya Srinath wants to leave.
You want to say sorry?
Yes, Supriya Srinath, about 3 hours ago, what was it, about 10:30, I had said you were in for a tough fight because you were 114, 115, and I said, you know, be careful. Things could, you said clear victory. I said 114, 115 will not be a clear victory. Guess what? You've done some magic, and it's been 134. Pradeep's magic has worked. First of all, sorry for giving you a hard time at that time for my use of words, clear victory. So you can now smile. I've been asking for a nice Supriya Srinath smile. I know as a social media
now she's smiling.
So you are also nervous. Big win. Congratulations.
I will never win. And in fact, I'm back on India Today very briefly to just tell both you and Rahul, I told you so at 10:30 a.m. That's why I'm back, and I will go back to say, no, 1 second.
No, but you told us at 10:30, we told you on the 10th of May. We already told you on the 10th of May what you told us at 10:30.
But at 10:30 a.m., you were almost making it sound as if we are the vanquished and they are the victors.
No, we were
but
saying
I'm
tough
glad
fight.
I stuck to my gut, and I'm glad I stuck to my own assessment. I will, however, say we have to be absolutely humble in our victory. And I think the credit should be given to the leadership of the Congress party and to the people of Karnataka who did not get swayed by the diversionary, distinct practices of the BJP. They stuck to real issues. They
Would you like to congratulate Pradeep Gupta also? He was giving you bigger numbers than most Karnataka Congress leaders were giving me. What do you have to say about his poll, Supriya?
That's not true. Our own assessment was numbers exactly where they are, but Pradeep Gupta has got it right each time, whether we won or lost. And so when we win,
what
yes,
about EVM machines? Supriya, what about EVM machines? Are EVM machines safe or not? Do you have faith in electronic voting machines?
Rahul, I am neither going to let you distract me with one video or get me distracted with this. Today is a day when we have won.
So democracy is in danger or not? Supriya, is democracy in India in danger or not? Supriya, is democracy in India in danger or is it alive and kicking?
Is in safe hands.
Democracy in India has been reinstated by people in Karnataka who are telling Prime Minister don't come to Karnataka.
Come on, Supriya, that's unfair. No, that's unfair. It can't be that when you win, democracy is alive and kicking. When the BJP is winning, then democracy is dead.
No,
there's no question. There's no question of it.
Now you're doing an Amit Malviya on us, and that you don't need to do that.
Don't I get to do it?
No. She's the mirror opposite of Amit Malviya in the BJP. The one runs the Congress IT cell, social media cell. The other. But this is really a big question, Rajdeep. Now, 1 second. For all of what they say about democracy being in danger, institutions being corrupted, people being swayed, etc., the fact that they won as dramatically as they have, the fact that they have won, not one Congress leader today questioning the validity of electronic voting machines.
I think we have to make a distinction between institutions that could be in danger and the EVM.
Every time they lost, they said elections are being fixed. Modi is fixing elections. Amit Shah is fixing elections, not acknowledging that they ran a weak campaign. When they ran a good campaign from the first day, we've been saying they ran a good campaign.
Before you come in, just let me say this, Rahul Kawal. I've always believed this EVM debate, you show me the evidence, otherwise you shouldn't be speaking about it.
No, but how many Congress leaders have said that?
You know, yeah, you see the fact, whether it ends or not, provide me evidence if you believe, otherwise don't. But Supriya Shinen, a final word, how are you going to celebrate now? You see, you need to finally, the Congress, the dholes in the morning I thought were premature. Now you can celebrate in the evening. And I can offer you also Mysore Pak, the same Mysore Pak that I offered Amit Malviya. Maybe the two of you can have a box together.
I run the IT cell of the Congress party and he runs the biggest fake news factory in the world. So I'm not sharing anything with him. But I will just, before I go, say one word. And I think that one word has to be the resilience of democracy. When you take pot shots at me for what some people may have said about EVM, we did not say EVM in Gujarat. Yes, we lost, but we won Himachal. We won Karnataka. I think it's the resilience of democracy. When you push people and take their vote for granted, they retaliate and they retaliate in big numbers.
You can say this, but when the BJP wins, you cannot say that democracy is dead. Democracy is dead in India. But Congress wins in Karnataka. Now let's see whether democracy is dead or not. Because democracy can't die on the day that you lose, and democracy cannot be alive on the day that you win. Democracy is alive. You need to fight. Like you fought in Karnataka, you need to fight and let voters decide who they want.
No, you're making an illogical statement. Democracy is dead when institutions are, compromised. Democracy is dead when the Prime Minister goes on and makes an appeal after the Model Code of Conduct says 5 p.m. the campaign is over. Democracy is dead when, journalists are jailed for showing the truth. Yes, democracy is dead.
People are electing government, democracy is alive.
Madam, okay, Janta Janardhan, ma'am, Janta Janardhan. At the end of the day, Janta Janardhan, मैंने कहा उस दिन गाना, Rahul asked me to sing a song, I sang it, I can sing it again. गरीबों की सुनो, वो तुम्हारी सुनेगा. That's the song. That's the song. So I think the people know better.
Is in full flow.
No, the people know better. That is true. That is true. You asked me for a song. तो एक पैसा दोगे. No, you see, if I start singing more, all the viewers that we have will leave. So I won't do that. But the fact is, that is what happens. So
Does Supriya want to sing a song? Supriya?
What's your song,
What's your song? Even if you don't sing it, what's your song? What are you humming? What track's playing in your head?
Come on, give us your favorite song today.
Lots actually, but to begin with, I'm unstoppable. Have a good day, guys.
Okay, unstoppable. Stay unstoppable. क्या करे?
No,
Pradeep, तेरा कौन सा गाना है? तू गाना तो गा.
नहीं गाना छोड़ो. I would only
you and I are great singing fans.
Democracy is alive.
Very good singer.
Please.
Kishore Kumar.
No. Democracy is alive as long as people are electing the government in all fairness.
Absolutely.
No, but this is an important point which needs to be made. 5.2 crore voters in Karnataka had the option of casting their mandate. 73% of them did. They voted one way. Democracy cannot be alive on the day the opposition wins, and democracy cannot be dead the day the BJP wins. This is double standards. EVMs can't become unreliable and fixed the day the BJP wins, and they can't become perfectly validated on the day the opposition wins.
So democracy in safe hands.
Yeah, sure. But let's also give credit to the people of Karnataka. This is a state with a single day poll. It does not require multiple polls like other states. Peaceful. You don't hear of complaints of irregularities. People calmly go to the polling booths. I even saw Mr. Basavaraj Bommai, very calm.
Not one re-poll, not even one re-poll.
Yeah, and he's going to probably leave tonight. And it's great. Look at what's happening in neighboring Pakistan, where you've got Imran Khan's being jailed. There's violence. This is, in all Indian electoral democracy, is one of the great stories of this country. We should be proud of it. You agree with that, Ashok?
Absolutely. And if I could add to it, I think the people have voted wisely, because even if you're a BJP supporter, you're actually happy there's a single party government. Rather than a khichdi and a coalition.
And now you won't have, at least the resort owners are in have had a bad
Which is a good thing for Karnataka's politics.
Which is a great thing for Karnataka.
Absolutely.
Okay, Professor Shastri, democracy thriving or not?
Undoubtedly thriving, and as I told
Electoral democracy.
I told you in the beginning of this show today, whenever Congress is ahead, it will be a majority, as is being proved now.
Another person.
Those are two important images on your screen, right? K.C. Venugopal, Organizational Secretary of the Congress, Randeep Singh Surjewala. He's had many electoral debacles, but in this victory is Randeep Surjewala's victory as well. Only he knows how he's kept Siddaramaiah and Shiv Kumar together. getting them to calm down, thande ho jao, bringing them together.
And Rahul, there's a reason. You see, K.C. Venugopal was General Secretary last time when the Congress lost Karnataka.
But he doesn't have much chops with the Karnataka
in
Congress.
2018. So 2018
People
he
don't
lost.
take him very seriously.
No. He's very close to Rahul Gandhi. And at the end
that's his claim to fame.
Dekho, jo jeeta wo Sikandar. You know, today is not a day. If I was a Congress strategist, today is a day I would celebrate, because when I haven't won a big election for years and it happens, it shows resilience. You see, at the end of the day, politicians, Sharad Pawar once told me, I said, sir, what are the qualities you need to be a fine politician? And he said two. He said, one, have a thick skin. Number two, patience. You've got to stay on. You know, the great...
It's a big fillip for Randeep Singh Surjewala as well.
He's lost three consecutive elections.
Exactly. He's lost 3 consecutive elections. His back was to the wall when the whole reject happened in the Congress party.
Right.
He is bag and baggage in Karnataka. This election was make or break for Randeep Singh Surjewala's career in the Congress as well.
No, also the one person who's not on the screen right now is Sunil Konalugu. And remember, he is the Prashant Kishore of sorts for the Congress's campaign in Karnataka. The only difference is PK would have been live right now, taking a part of the credit and possibly irking his political benefactors. But Sunil played exactly the same role behind the scenes. He's the third leg in that stool. He brought the campaign together. So while a lot of the political organization was done by the likes of Shiv Kumar and Siddaramaiah, did a lot of the campaigning, he's the brains in some sense.
And way more elusive than
40% Sarkara, PCM, etc. A lot of it came from him, which really did help the Congress dominate the narrative. It hasn't happened in a long time where the Congress, except when they got blindsided by the Bajrang Bal versus Bajrang Dali self-goal towards the end, the Congress did dominate the campaign.
But it's not a self-goal anymore, no? That's what they were wondering in the end. So it's actually worked for them.
Everything is a sixer.
No, for them it actually worked.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you're talking about the Congress campaign in Karnataka, I think one needs to give it kudos. Because, you know, one of the biggest thing was centralization versus localization. I've been watching the campaign. One of the things is, you know, this business of saying, 40% CM. And then, but the BJP repartees were very quick. The last 5 days saw repartee after repartee, front page. The Times of India was divided into 2 separate supplements. One supplement had the front page of the BJP, the other had that of the Congress. So repartee after repartee, eye in the eye kind of politics, and reacting to what happened yesterday. That is the niftiness of the campaign. I think both the parties ran a nifty campaign, but one party
I thought the Congress was far superior. They were way more professional.
Okay, Veerappa Moily joins us, senior Congress leader. And remember, this is a big day because 134 versus 64. When was the last time the Congress was almost double the tally of the Bharatiya Janata Party? So that hasn't happened in a very long time, not in the Modi era. They won big in Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh, relatively speaking, is a smaller state, much more political prestige at play in Karnataka, where the Congress has delivered a big blow to the Bharatiya Janata Party. That's DK Shiv Kumar holding the Congress flag on his balcony at his residence. He's one of the big architects of this victory as well. He was under the weather, but once you win in the way that he has, then it doesn't really matter. Everything then just gets fixed completely. It's a big day for the Congress party. One thing that Pradeep Gupta said, which I remember from Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, is that you believed it was good for the BJP because a lot of the anti-incumbency then got flushed out, clearing the deck for the Lok Sabha polls, which in any case is the much bigger fight for the BJP from Modi's perspective.
And also it allows party to revisit their strategy. That is very important in politics. Whatever you have been doing and you are losing, and if you don't learn from those mistakes, it's not going to have, works for you. So this is what happened. And on the other side, the winning side person often get complacent, and they miss the ground reality. To read the ground reality and to address them is the key to success.
And I remember, if we all remember, 2018 November, December, Congress won Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. and they felt that, 5 months later all is well. It didn't work out because you made wrong choices. State elections are very different to national elections. I think political parties need to recognize that. They have every reason to celebrate in a federal polity when they win state elections. But how do you adjust to a national election is going to be a big challenge, Ashok Malik, for all political parties, including the BJP. For the Congress, the reverse. How do I take my state success to the national level? The BJP, how do I take my national success to a state level?
Look, the national election is an entirely different election. But as Pradeep Gupta has said, the state elections leading up to it give parties a time to re-strategize, look at new techniques. There are challenges for both. The Congress's big challenge is no national face. The BJP's challenges a third time is, to motivate voters to come out a third time. There's no hostility to Mr. Modi, but there is obviously a complacency, a fatigue which sets in. So,
how would you do it, Professor Shastri? If today you were telling the two sides, what do they need to do in the next 9 months ahead of a Lok Sabha election if they have to make Karnataka their bastion? BJP won 26 out of 28 in Karnataka 2019 Lok Sabha. What do they need to do to repeat it? What does the Congress need to do to prevent that happening?
Rajdeep, I have already said it. Prime Minister Modi has already launched the first election campaign for the 2024 elections in Bangalore. Then he campaigned for the state assembly election. I think when it comes to the national poll from Karnataka, the buzz I have been hearing among a lot of people is when it comes to the national election, Modi, we are with the BJP. The point you made.
So how do you change that? Can that be changed? Can political parties change that?
I think what will be important for the Congress is in the next 1 year they come up with a good performance at the state level.
So they're going to have to perform. They're going to have to perform and they'll have to give time to perform.
And the opposition will need to come together.
Veerappa Moily, he joins us live and exclusive at this time. He's been Chief Minister from 92 to 94 and understands the state of Karnataka very well. Mr. Moily, many congratulations on this big historic victory at this moment. The Congress party 54 up from the last elections. It's been a long while and not often in the Modi era that the Congress has been able to win against the BJP in such resounding fashion.
Mr. Moily, can you hear us? Mr. Moily, can you hear us? Mr. Moily, we'll try. Mr. Moily, one more time. Can you hear us, Mr. Moily?
Okay, give us
a come to the question of what can a political party do to undo it all. See, the Karnataka has redefined the election to say that 3 parties for 3 purposes. The Lok Sabha, the Assembly and the BBMP. Now the point is, if the Congress wants to establish itself, it needs to have a national story for the Lok Sabha election. It cannot go to the Lok Sabha election with a local story. It won with a local story the assembly elections, but it can't do that. And in the BBMP election, it has to go with a micro-local story, which is all about things that you see, touch, smell, taste, walk on, fall down upon, etc.
I think one more thing is in this election, very, very big losses to the defectors. So defectors have been defeated in a very bad way. Mahesh Kumatali has lost. Ramesh Jarkiwali, I believe, has lost.
He's trailing.
He's trailing. Yes. Sri Ramulu has lost. And then,
Sudhakar has lost.
Sudhakar, who was a man of the moment during the COVID.
Huge. And Sudhakar has faced serious allegations from the other side.
Yes.
This whole 40% commission. If a Sudhakar starts losing, switch from the Congress to the BJP, there is a message. Voters can only do so much. I can't punish a politician every day. But every 5 years, in my own little way, I will send a message to at least 10, 12 of them, which will hopefully be understood by others. Defectors, don't defect for your personal benefit. Try and provide the people. I think the last 5 years have been tough years for everyone. COVID years, not easy. So therefore, local anti-incumbency actually gets accentuated. So I think the likes of Sudhakar facing defeat, the likes of C.T. Ravi, was trailing when I last saw him, and he's still trailing.
We can still show that on our screen. As we wait for Veerappa Moily's audio to get fixed, I can show you what's happening on the various VIP seats of Karnataka. B.S. Yedurappa's son, B.Y. Vijendra, leading Basavaraj Bommai, the Chief Minister, leading C.T. Ravi, prominent face of the BJP, trailing. D.K. Shivkumar has won already handsomely. Karunakar Reddy, brother of Gali Janardhan Reddy, the infamous Bellari brothers, has lost. Soma Shekhar Reddy is trailing at this moment. Gali Lakshmi Aruna, the wife of Mr. Reddy, is trailing. H.D. Kumaraswamy is leading. Revanna, the brother of H.D. Kumaraswamy, Devegowda's other son, has won. Jagdish Shettar has lost. Let me just go there. Now, there's a big message in those who want to jump from the BJP to other parties. Jagdish Shettar in Hubli Dharwad Central managed to get only 29,340 votes. Mahesh Tengiyanki got 64,910 votes. That's a big blow to Jagdish Shettar, although he did, to the extent that he did, impact the narrative as somebody was leaving the BJP, a prominent Lingayat face leaving the BJP, going across to the Congress. Lakshman Savadi, though, the other turncoat from the BJP who came into the Congress, has won from Savadi 66,892 votes versus 27,660. Veerappa Moily is now back with us. Moily ji, welcome, congratulations, namaskara.
Yes. Thank you, namaskara.
The Congress smiling after a long time. They haven't had much to smile about. Do you think this is your big day in terms of giving to the Congress High Command some kind of a victory from your state?
Yeah, definitely, you know, the... Hello?
Yes, sir, we hear you. Go on, sir.
Hello?
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. India Today's, India Today's exit poll proved right. In fact, they suggested this number and we could get around that number only. Congress could secure the success. And you know, the Congress, the Karnataka state is always a Congress state, you know, with this ideology, cosmopolitan outlook, secularism, and inclusive politics and social justice. And we could, any party, you know, who runs away from that. For example, the BJP, they depended only on the propaganda and the speeches of Amit Shah and also the Prime Minister of India. That is Narendra Modi. You know, that is not local, and they could not connect to the psyche of the people. That is how that has not impressed the electorate of Karnataka.
So is it a local election then? Mr. Moily, is this a local election fought on local factors using local leaders? That the real message of Karnataka is vocal for local.
Local for local. This is how it happened. Even when Rahul Gandhi came or Madam Sonia ji came here, and you know our Priyanka ji conducted a hurricane tour, they only touched the local chord, and that is how people were very much impressed, and you know their speeches influenced the psyche of the Karnataka voters, and it helped. And our own leaders, the party led by Siddaramaiah ji, D.K. Kumar and many others, including our in charge AICC Surjewala ji, they really worked out a very good strategy. And in fact, in some of the regions, we must have failed in our strategy. But if that, we also work on the even other areas, we could have got another 10 to 12 seats. That doesn't matter. We must congratulate the electorate of Karnataka who have proved their worth and, you know, proved that they are secular and, you know, they are not communal, and they also for the social justice.
Dr. Moily,
which can be that kind of a
Lok
principle.
Sabha results from Karnataka could look very different. The post-poll study that C-Voter ran shows an 8% surge in BJP vote share on the day that these same 43% voters voted for the Congress. If this was a Lok Sabha election, the Congress's vote share, our estimate shows, could have come down by 7% and the BJP's vote share up by 8%. So 2024 in Karnataka could look very different.
Then I am not talking about the Lok Sabha. We'll speak to you on Lok Sabha when it comes to that. But our electorate, particularly, they get the first credit for, and also our leaders who came here, Rahul ji, Sonia Gandhi, the Priyanka, and also our representatives from the ACC who came and canvassed and worked out a strategy.
Mr. Moily, who do you feel is the man right for the top job? Mr. Siddaramaiah or Mr. D.K. Shivakumar?
No, that is that is a process which the AICC will undertake, and we are confident that they will take a right decision, and there will be absolute unity of the party in running a government for another 5 years.
Mr. Moily, I appreciate your joining us. You're confident that your government will last 5 years. It should with these numbers, but you're not telling us that big question, kaun banega Mukhyamantri, which I think will remain a big question. It's reached 135 now. So what's happened, Rahul, in the last couple of hours is a lot of those marginal calculator seats have gone one way.
Bangalore now 14-14.
So Bangalore also has changed, 14-14. So there is
Dr. Moily is smiling. What does it feel to be a congressman at a time when you're handed one big defeat after another? Now to find this kind of a margin, 135 versus 63, must be a big relief.
Yeah, this is definitely a opening, and also opening not only for the state and also for the national politics, and it will open up the avenues of success of the alliance against BJP.
RQ Upadhyay has a question for you.
Lok Sabha election.
Molyavare, namaskara. Ramakrishna Upadhyay matartarodu. I want to know from you, see, Congress has had a tradition of KPCC president going on to become the chief minister. Do you think DK Shivakumar should get a chance now?
No. It is open, and the ACC observers will come and make an assessment. After taking the consensus among the MLAs, they will take right decision. It's not correct that KPCC president invariably cannot become the PCM. For example, when the SM Krishna was a KPCC president, and also Virendra Patil was KPCC, they became the chief ministers. Yes. It's not correct to say that whoever is the PCC president will not become chief minister. But anyway, that all depends upon the ultimate consensus which will be taken of the MLAs, and the AICC observers or the AICC president will take a call.
Yes.
That will be smooth. I am confident about it.
Professor Shastri.
Moily ji, namaskara. Sandeep Shastri here. You just now mentioned that next year's Lok Sabha election is a totally different issue. But as a senior Congress leader, what would you think should be the strategy the party should use in Karnataka for the 2024 Lok Sabha election?
Yeah, for the present, we have to keep our cadre intact by giving them the task every time, whether through the government or through the organization. We have to keep our workers, cadre, leadership quite busy. Just because we succeeded, they should not become again idle. That is one strategy we'll have to adopt. Another question is that, wherever there are gaps, naturally there will be some gaps in strategizing our whole election campaign and also the party strategy. And that has to be, that gap will have to be filled up by working out a proper strategy. Wherever we have failed, whichever region we have failed, I think we need to rework the strategy and present it, and those areas will also, regions are also, will come back to Congress fold.
Okay, we'll leave it over there for the time being. This is a big victory for the Congress party. Of that there can be absolutely no doubt. And the Congress and every congressman is fully entitled to celebrate it. Dr. Moily, for joining us, thank you very much. Rohan Gupta joins us as well. He's been waiting for a while. Rohan, in your home state of Gujarat, the Congress got pummeled, but you've handed quite a beating to the BJP this time, giving all Congresswalas something to cling on to and something to smile about.
Absolutely, Rahul. As a Congress worker, I am very proud and very happy. The way we have defeated BJP, it's not a small thing. Rahul, let me tell you, I was there in Karnataka for last 40 days in different regions. When I went there, local leadership had given up because of 40% corruption and local issues, Nandini's issues and all. After declaration of tickets, their confidence went down, and they were just relying on Mr. Modi that he will come and he will do some magic tamasha and they will win. So I think this is the victory for people of Karnataka for keeping the issues local, for voting on their own issues, for voting against the failure of the government, for voting against the failure of BJP in fulfilling the promises given to them. They tried everything under the sun. I think this is a defeat of overconfidence of their central leadership and defeat of corruption of BJP of state leadership. Because they were at before 10 days, let me tell you Rahul, the local cadre has completely given up. They had no hopes. They were just believing that, okay, Mr. Modi will come, he'll do a road show and they will win. But the way they tried to raise the issues and the way our cadre countered, we kept election on the 5 promises which were given to people. We went to door to door and ensured that this delivery is done. All our CMs were there. Mr. Gehlot, Mr. Sukhu, everybody addressed the press.
How do you ensure that Karnataka doesn't become the next Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh? How do you ensure that Siddaramaiah and Shiv Kumar stay together? Your government in Rajasthan at this moment completely a mess. Sachin Pilot marching, doing his own Rahul Gandhi kind of Padyatra in this searing heat. Could Karnataka just be the same unless you're able to keep these two guys together?
राहुल इस बार चिंता मत कीजिए सब कुछ अच्छा होने वाला है कांग्रेस पार्टी also learns and we have seen that this kind of victory we have never seen in long time so we have learnt a lot from our mistakes also we have learnt a lot from
Gupta, tough decisions because
also, so we will ensure
you saying सब कुछ अच्छा होने वाला है कल से आपका जो प्रेसिडेंट जो कल से जो रंधावा जी हैं आपके who's taking care of राजस्थान उनसे यही नहीं तय हो पा रहा है कि सचिन पायलट जी के लिए करा क्या जाए what to make of his march against your own government.
मैडम आज मुझे कर्नाटक के लिए खुश होने दीजिए आपके सवाल का जवाब मैं कल दे दूंगा सो आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टुडे बिकॉज आवर केडर्स हैव वर्क ऑन ग्राउंड एंड वी लेट अस हैव वन डे एटलीस्ट वी आर देयर टू आंसर वी आर नॉट लाइक बीजेपी के हम प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं करेंगे आपको जवाब नहीं देंगे पर आज का दिन हमको खुश होने दीजिए ये हमारे कार्यकर्ता की मेहनत की जीत है हमारी लीडरशिप के मैसेज की जीत है और आखिर में कर्नाटक के जनता के स्वाभिमान की जीत है बिकॉज दे एंश्योर दैट एवरीथिंग दे ट्राइड दे फेल्ड एंड अदर लास्ट थिंग टुडे इज सैटरडे एंड आई एम बिग भक्त ऑफ बजरंग बली जी और मुझे लगता है उनका आशीर्वाद हमको मिला है अगर बजरंग बली जी के भक्तों को खिलाफ भाजपा ने जिस प्रकार से अत्याचार वहां पे किया है उनके प्रोमिसेस पूरे नहीं किए हैं तो आई थिंक उनका भी आशीर्वाद हमारे साथ में है
Okay, let's leave it there. This Bajrang Bali debate is an interesting one because at some stage we are going to have to see, does it have an impact on election when in the last moment you try to change the narrative? My sense is, Rahul, I could be again wrong, is that it consolidated the BJP's voter, brought him or her to the polling booth, but it did not bring you the incremental voter. You see, elections are won on incremental votes. And
no, but that also is important, Rajdeep. I'll tell you why. Because initially, during the campaign, their own voter was quite dispirited because the kind of government that was run, it is right now, if you see their vote share stands at 36%, which is what they had last time. If they hadn't done that, then their own voter may not have come. The initial polls were showing 31% wanting to vote for the BJP. That is 5-6% down from what they had last time. At least they were able to keep their vote together.
But what
Rajiv,
it does...
It's also worked for the Congress because it consolidated the Muslim vote.
Sure.
For example, how have they won in Ramnagar? It's because the Muslim vote consolidated behind the Congress and didn't go to the JDS at all.
I think an excellent point that Preeti makes because, Ashok, just a minute, you know, the JDS vote is traditionally where they won, they don't just get vocal ligas, they also have constituency with large Muslim pockets, especially in Old Mysore. Now, if that vote consolidates behind the Congress, then the JDS is left.
But the counter to that is any Muslim consolidation would lead to a counter consolidation.
No, it doesn't. You see, this is where I disagree. This is not, if I with due apologies, Rahul, this is how different states are different. That might happen in North India. You see, North India, aggressive, first of all, the Muslim consolidation in Karnataka will never be aggressive in terms of, it will never be manifest openly. That doesn't then lead to a counter consolidation. Look, elections are eventually won when you get, this is not also Bengal, where you have a 30% Muslim vote, so you can play Muslim vote bank politics. It's only 12%. You need, Congress got a majority Hindu vote. That's the, you know, we need to understand that. You can't win this victory without a majority of the Hindus voting for you. Yes, Ashok, sorry.
Just 2 points about religious politics, okay? One, where it works for the BJP in Karnataka, one where it doesn't. But you have to realize the Bajrang Dal is seen very differently in coastal Karnataka than in Bangalore or in Delhi. In coastal areas where there is a Muslim radicalism, where there is a PFI problem, the Bajrang Dal is perceived a little more sympathetically. And therefore, as Rahul says, the BJP's voter came out to vote where otherwise he may have
But
said...
Ashok, how? Because if you look at coastal... Yeah, please.
They may still have lost, but they did come out. That's one. So the second point,
go ahead, please go ahead.
The BJP has played a strong religious card over the past 1 year in Karnataka. I think it has backfired because it has ended up consolidating Muslims behind one, like in Bengal, where the Congress did not get any Muslim votes. all the Muslim votes consolidated behind Mamta, it ended up hurting the BJP.
With one caveat, please appreciate, Bengal is 30% Muslim, these are 12%. Let's not call, you see, Hindu-Muslim politics will not work.
Let's
in a
listen to
state
B.S.
with 12%
ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಂತ ಬಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು